There's a look at downtown Calgary, and McMahon Stadium is where we are taking you today for a good old-fashioned Western showdown between the BC Lions and the Calgary Stampeders. Kickoff is coming right up, but before we get to that, we bring you in here to the CFL Live studio. Dave Randorf, along with Matt Dunnigan, who's back from Regina, Chris Schultz in his regular seat, and guys, when Calgary and BC, when they get together, there's always bad blood. And there has been some yipping and yapping in the media. Nice comeback by Robert Drummond, by the way.
Nice.
We all enjoyed that. But the bottom line is, once you get all the talk out of the way, the fact remains this is a very important ball game out west today. Here is what is at stake. The BC Lions have been passed by the Toronto Argonauts in the crossover playoff standings. They got to snap a 4-game losing streak, and they got to do it in a hurry. And with Edmonton losing yesterday, Calgary now has an opportunity to tie the Eskimos for first place with 1 week to go in the regular season. The opportunity is there. They just have to take advantage of it, Schultz.
And I think that's the issue. I mean, finishing up Week 17 of the Canadian Football League, it just seems that the teams that have the most to gain are not really rising to the occasion. This afternoon, I'm looking for concentration from the players, because without concentration, there is no execution. I think the Stampeders have the opportunity. They've won their last 2 games, and their defensive backs are playing better football now than they have before. The last 2 games, they've held opponents to under 200 yards. That's pretty good going into the playoffs. 2 key points, though. I think Marcus Crandall has to be patient, and I think more than anything else, Antonio Warren has to be a big part of this game. A few weeks ago, when the BC Lions played the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, they had a punt return taken all the way back by Charles Roberts. I think Antonio Warren is the type of player that can make a huge impact and can do the exact same thing, Matty. Multi-purpose, running back, kicking, everything. He's good.
Well, Chris, the good man for the BC Lions is coming back, and that's Alfred Jackson. And couldn't be sooner for Damon Allen, because he's been missing his go-to receiver. And against Calgary, I went back and looked at Damon's history, and he's going to need AJ, because Damon does not have a very colorful history against the Stampeders. In fact, over 18 games going back to 1995, Damon Allen throws for 196 yards against this team. So he's going to need a boost to his receiving core and their production. Then on the running game, look for the Lions to continue to pound the ball to Millington. He certainly got some motivation. And Robert Drummond, heard a little spatting going on there. Got to talk with your helmets and shoulder pads, and I expect the Lions to do that today.
This is our 3rd game here in Week 17. Defensive struggles, to put it nicely, is what we've seen so far. We're looking for a good one today in Calgary. The starting quarterbacks brought to you by Wendy's. There they are, Damon Allen and Marcus Crandall going for the Stamps.
It's a glorious sunny afternoon in Calgary for the final game of Week 17, and we still don't have a clue who'll finish first in the West.
The Lions are scrambling for the last playoff spot, but could still finish first.
So could the Stampeders or the Eskimos, for that matter.
Kickoff coming right up.
The Lions have been losers without Alfred Jackson in the lineup. He holds the key for the Grey Cup champs to make it to the playoffs as he returns today. Running back Robert Drummond still looking for his first 100-yard game of the year. He has added incentive this afternoon.
Incentive created by linebacker Willie Fells, who called last year's Grey Cup MVP garbage, and in doing so has made this game personal for Drummond and the Lions.
A beautiful sunny Sunday afternoon in southern Alberta. Just a perfect day for football. Inside McMahon Stadium, 30,000 plus for the 18th straight time. It's still all up for grabs in the West. Both the Stampeders and the Lions still have a shot at first, and both could still miss the playoffs. Temperature is 1 degree. The wind, a south breeze at 17. It's perfectly dry on the turf here at McMahon. Steve Barrato has been searching for answers to the Lions' woes for 7 straight weeks. Back then, BC was gunning for first. Today, the Lions are battling to keep their playoff hopes alive. And across the way, Wally Buono has 146 career wins. He's looking to tie Frank Clare for 2nd place if he gets 147 today. Underway in Calgary, Clinton Wayne on a short kickoff by the BC Lions. And they'll begin just outside the 37. Marcus Crandall has completed 68% of his passes in 2 games against the Lions. Mark Boerichter has been hot in the absence of Travis Moore. 286 yards in the last 2 games. And running back Kelvin Anderson, 7 100-yard games behind these guys. Fred Childress and Thomas Ram, the anchors of Calgary's offensive line. A high percentage passer in his rookie season at the controls of the Stampeders. Kelvin Anderson has a couple. And here's how the Lions stack up defensively.
Cameron Legault, the leader in that defensive front 7. He has 7 sacks on the season. Baron Simpson, candidate for Rookie of the Year for the BC Lions, very likely. And in the secondary, the veteran is Eric Carter on the corner with a couple of interceptions so far this year.
Starting lineups brought to you by Midas. Keep a good thing going. Go Midas. Gain of 5 makes this 2nd and 5 near side. And that'll be good for a first down. Aubrey Cummings has the catch and a 7-yard gain.
John, you talked about Marcus Crandall's percentage, and up over 60% completion percentage for Marcus Crandall is really incredible. He's played very well, especially over the last 2 games, wins against Saskatchewan and Montreal. Interestingly, he's only thrown 6 touchdowns or 6 interceptions this year, but 3 of them have been against the BC Lions.
Nice drive beginning for the Stampeders. A first down out at the 50. Kelvin Anderson running hard again. Better than 5. He's got close to 7 yards.
And 2 things have helped Marcus Crandall and his completion percentage. One is the running ability of Kelvin Anderson and what he can do on first down. And number 2 is what he has done finding Mark Bullrichter in the receiving corps. But Kelvin Anderson for Marcus Crandall, no question, is the key, especially on first down.
And he's after the rushing championship in the CFL this season with a pretty good chance to get there. He was the leader after 16 weeks. Anderson again, and Baron Simpson is there for the tackle. Simpson coming into the game, Glenn, 99 tackles, and we'll see where they spot this and if the Stampeders got the first down.
Well, we've talked about it a little bit, but the importance of this game is really unbelievable at this point in the season for both these teams. Calgary Stampeders have a chance to clinch 2nd place, home field playoff game, and they can also, with the win today, still get 1st place in the West Division. The BC Lions lose today, and they have lost control of their playoff destinies.
To the Toronto Argonauts.
To the Toronto Argonauts, who, if they win in that last week of the season, should the Lions lose today, would be in the playoffs in the West Division. So a huge game for both teams here this afternoon.
And both teams can finish in 1st place. They could also miss the playoffs completely.
Yeah.
So how much more exciting could it be into the final 2 weekends of the season? And
it really is what makes that crossover format in the playoffs, you know, it's the only way to go. It really is.
3rd down and inches as the Stampeders go gambling on their opening drive. There was early movement, and I'm not so sure who jumped first down there. We'll have to wait and see as flags are down on the field. Everyone we talked to before the game about the crossover was very excited. Jim Daly said that's the only way to go. He's, of course, a Stampeder assistant coach.
Offside, BC, number 91. First down.
It'll be first down, Calgary.
Well, if you think about it, without the crossover format, this game is really just a game for home field advantage in the playoffs. That's all that would be on the line today. As it stands, both these teams could finish out of the playoffs because of the crossover. So, I mean, you got to love that.
Stampeders with a first down at the 45. Peterson makes the catch. Or rather, Vince Danielson. Key to success for these Stampeders might be this guy right here.
No question. Momentum. Bullrichter, 286 yards receiving in the last couple of games. It took them 3/4 of the year to find him, but they have found him, and Bo is back. Of course, they need him to really step up his game with Travis Moore out of the lineup for the rest of the year.
And he was the player of the week in the CFL last week. Kelvin Anderson.
Kelvin Anderson, number 32. 4 yards in the
We'll see where they spot it. Ran into Herman Smith, number 91. And a solid start for the Stampeder run game. And Kelvin Anderson. This is the opening drive for the Stampeders. After a short kickoff, they've marched inside the BC 35 at the 34. Another flag. And the play whistle down. Pitch went to Anderson, but well after it was whistled down. Wally has never seen a season quite like this as the head coach of the Calgary Stampeders.
Procedure. Calgary, number 50. Still first down.
Stampeders were always home and cooled out with at least a playoff spot guaranteed in his first 11 seasons here. And not necessarily locked up first place, but heading into the final 2 weeks, there were always a lot more victories than the Stampeders have put up on the board so far this year, just totaling 7.
Well, there is a quiet confidence with this Calgary Stampeder football team right now on a 2-game winning streak.
On 1st and 15, Crandall puts it up. Cummings is the target. Aubrey Cummings with Mike Fletcher covering.
The penalty was a legal procedure against Calgary. That's what put him in 2nd and 15, or 1st and 15 on that first play. Now it'll be 2nd and 15 for Marcus Crandall, and first time he's actually been in a 2nd and long situation in this drive.
And this is the 10th play of the drive coming up. Second and 15 Stampeders. Crandall from the shotgun. It opened up for a minute. He's on target. No catch, however. Dropped by Peterson. Kamal Peterson couldn't come up with it.
I think Marcus Crandall wanted to go to Mark Bullrichter down the seam. He was going deep, but the safety, Warner Herndon for the BC Lions, got over there and really double covered Mark Bullrichter.
Now, are they looking at a catch and a fumble here? That's what the discussion seems to be about down there.
Well, better to take a few seconds and get the call right.
They ruled it a catch and a fumble recovered by the BC Lions. So that ends the Stampeders' opening drive. Damon Allen gets his chance after a timeout. The catch, they say, yes. And Fletcher stripped it. It's Wendy's CFL Live from Calgary. Here's Damon Allen's first play. Robert Drummond.
They got him mad. You can tell the way Robert Drummond is running. He's upset.
Allen has connected on less than 50% of his passes over the last 2 games.
Here's what Willie Fells said this week, in case you haven't heard about Robert Drummond. He said that Robert Drummond is garbage. A broken down Eric Dickerson. He sucks. You think Drummond is a little fired up for this game?
Well, I think we'll watch the head-to-head matchup between those two. Allen on the money far side. Jimmy Oliver lost it. Stampeders get it back. Back-to-back turnovers. Alondra Johnson.
Back-to-back turnovers, but it hurts the Lions more than anything because of where they are on the football field on the 30-yard line. Calgary Stampeders have a great opportunity in scoring position already. Jimmy Oliver just never secured the football. Tackled there by Anthony Pryor on the outside. He just never, ever secured it. And really, it wasn't that big of a hit from Pryor that got the ball loose.
Yeah, Pryor got it loose. And Alondra Johnson was there for the recovery. So the Stampeders are set up at the BC 30, first down. Calvin Anderson. Smack down of the middle linebacker.
Oh,
Baron Simpson.
That's a form tackle. That is stepping up in the hole, putting your face right in the numbers of the running back. What a hit by Barron Simpson.
He has been sensational in his rookie season in the league. Number 51, Barron Simpson.
Well, he slid across, and just watch the form on this hit as he steps in right here to Kelvin Anderson, drives his hips through, and turns the running back back. Wow.
Injury timeout at McMahon Stadium. A BC Lion being tended to down there. We'll take a timeout.
So 9-1.
Game 2 is tonight. Hope you can join us for that.
You know, I'm getting the brooms out. I'm getting the broom out right now.
You think it's over already? These are the Yankees. They were down 2-0 earlier to Oakland. Nice catch. Peterson made the catch and slipped out of bounds. It'll be a first down for the Stampeders.
Yeah, it really was good concentration by Kamau Peterson on the sideline to be able to keep his feet in bounds while trying to turn around and hang on to that football. He had to turn his body backwards. He made it look easy. Keeps his feet in bounds. Those are his numbers on the season. Really starting to settle in. When Vince Danielson missed 5 games, he got a lot more playing time.
He's really slotted into Travis Moore's spot.
Well, it's going to see a nice battle between Calvin Anderson and Barron Simpson in this game. In the middle of that defense, Barron Simpson, the best tackler in the CFL this year. Calvin Anderson, arguably the best back this year in the CFL. You can make an argument for a couple others. Michael Jenkins.
Michael Jenkins is currently on top of the rushing standings, but has that one game in hand that we saw on Friday night. He's got 1,376 yards, and coming into this one, Calvin Anderson at 1,298.
Just watch 2 good football players go at it here this afternoon.
Game is 4. This is 2nd and 6 as Crandall drops to the shotgun.
Here they come.
Looks to the corner. End zone toss. No catch. Bo Richter wants a call. He's not going to get it.
So to 30,000 plus here in McMahon Stadium. Curtis Anderson was in coverage. Now, the only thing I'll say for Anderson is when he was turning around to try and find the football, he was looking back. And usually if the officials see the defensive back looking back to the football, they'll give him the benefit of the doubt on the hand fighting between receiver and DB. Very close.
So on the turnover, Calgary Stampeders will have to settle for a field goal try. Mark McLaughlin has it spotted on the 20. And it's good. Stampeders have a 3-0 lead. McLaughlin 5 for 5 last week. The Stampeders win over Montreal. Welcome back. Another great crowd at McMahon Stadium in Calgary this afternoon. John Wells along with Glenn Suter and Sherry Hargrave.
When the fans leave here today, John, they get handed a box like this. It's part of Operation Christmas Child. It's the largest children's Christmas project in the world, and it's a cause that's near and dear to Wally Buono's heart. See, he and his family have participated in this project for years. What you do is you take this box and you fill it with candy and toys and stuffed animals, and then it gets sent to one of over 5 million needy children across the world. It's just one of the ways the Stampeders gets involved with the community that supports them.
All right, Sherry, so everyone got a little shoebox to fill up with goodies.
One of the many ways that the Stampeders are involved in this community. They've done such a nice job of making it a community team, even though it's privately owned. And you can tell by the attendance, over 30,000 again, that it's working.
And that is the largest children's charity in the world. Here's David Allen on 2nd down, looking deep, and he overthrew the target.
It is incomplete. Pass intended for Jimmy Oliver.
Jimmy Oliver was the intended receiver. Allen will welcome the return of his ace in the receiving corps, Alfred Jackson, back after missing 4 straight Lion losses anyway. Billington and Drummond will try and revive the run game, and Wes White is back. But the O-line is definitely hurting a little bit up front going into this one. Just about everyone's got a nick up there.
Well, pretty much everyone in the league has a nick at this time in the season somewhere. You just got to play through those things. And you always got to just remember, if it's in your leg or your hip or whatever it is, it's a long way from your heart at this time of the year.
Martino with a little mix-up as he got it away and had to take a few steps to kick it. Flags are down. Antonio Warren had a 5-yard return, and we'll check out the infraction here.
Number 10, Jason Brown. Number 19, Mike Moore. The tacklers
Against the BC Lions.
I think it has to be. I'm not so sure if someone didn't get an early start.
Wally Buono likely will decline this penalty and take the football. He's got pretty good field position after the punt.
BC number 25 declines. First down.
Well, you're right about declining the penalty.
You talked about Marcus Crandall and how well he's played this year. When you look at the numbers that Crandall and Sankey put up together, compare him to Dave Dickinson a year ago. They are very, very close after 16 weeks in the season.
Dickinson went on to win the most valuable player, most outstanding player in the CFL last year. Here's Calvin Anderson. He'll get some votes for the award this time.
So then, John, you say, well, why haven't the Calgary Stampeders put more wins in the win column? And I think the big difference is that Marcus Crandall offensively, he's put up some nice numbers, but he hasn't learned how to finish just yet, and that's started to come along the second half of the season.
Well, and the Lions are playing their best football of the year right now on a 2-game win streak.
The Stamps.
Yes, did I say the Lions?
The Lions.
There we go.
They're certainly not playing their best football right now.
The Lions are on a 4-game losing streak, yeah. Pardon me. Here's Crandall. Nolan home. Threw it between 2 receivers. Peterson was in the area. Now, is Bo Richter getting double coverage out there?
Yeah, I know right now Warner Herndon, the safety for the Lions, is spending a lot of time going to Mark Bo Richter's side on 2nd and long situations. So that will open up Vince Danielson on the backside. Herndon knows in the last 2 games Bo Richter has been the man for the Calgary Stampeders. He so far is flying over to Bo Richter's side. Watch for Vince Danielson as this game goes on to try and take advantage of that.
Duncan O'Mahony is in. Geroy Simon deep for the BC Lions. O'Mahony across his 35 to get a low kick away.
Returnable.
Geroy Simon looks for the 1 block. Got a little help. He's out across the 30 to about the 32. 51 on the punt, 20 on the return. Lawrence Deck led the Stampeder tacklers.
Well, if you want a leader on a defensive team, how about Joe Fleming? He leads the Calgary Stampeders defense, no question about it. 10 sacks on the season for Mr. Fleming. 4 sacks in his last 3 games. Elijah Johnson is the middle linebacker, and in the secondary, Greg Frères is the safety. We've seen Anthony Pryor make a play to cause a fumble already in this football game.
David Allen and the BC Lions trailing by 3, first down at the 32. Allen near side. And he missed Alfred Jackson first time. He's gone to Jackson. Steve Barrato really trying to figure out what he has to do to get these BC Lions back on the winning track. 4 straight losses, 6 losses in the last 7 games. It's been really hard to explain.
Well, and I don't think he has to do a whole lot because he has veterans on this team, and that's the key to the Lions today, is it's gut check time for BC. They have to reach down, each guy look in the mirror, which I'm sure they have all week long, and decide, are they contenders or pretenders?
Yeah, they have to play with a little emotion, without question. Allen on 2nd and 10. Great throw and a wonderful catch by Darnell McDonald. Huge play for the Lions.
Oh, I tell you what, Damon Allen did not have a whole lot of room to throw that ball down the seam. Look at this. Post pattern to Darnell McDonald. Right in the hole in front of Greg Frères, and Jimmy Oliver was coming the opposite way. He didn't have a whole lot of room to get it in there. McDonald comes up with a big catch.
It was a perfect pass. 21 yards the game.
And that's the kind of catch they haven't been making over the last 3-4 weeks.
Out the 53. Allen may take off himself. Has room to run, and this really is the weapon that the BC Lions have been missing. Allen has not run a great deal in the last few games, partly because of the injury to his left hand.
So important for him to run like that, because what that will do now is the linebacking core and the secondary for the Calgary Stampeders are now aware that Damon Allen's going to run the football in this game. Now, every time he breaks contain, they will have to make a decision. Do I stay in coverage, or do I come up and try and tackle Damon Allen? And it puts you in a bind defensively if you're in that situation.
Allen picks up 11, and quickly the Lions are set up just outside the Stampeder 45. Near side, Jimmy Oliver the catch, away from one, and Oliver gets close to first down territory. Alondra Johnson.
I had a conversation with Jamie Terrace prior to the game, the center for the BC Lions, and asked him about how Alondra Johnson was playing in his 14th season, and he said, boy, the guy is flying around. I'm going to show you a great example of Alondra Johnson's speed to the outside. He took off and basically ran down Jimmy Oliver on that last play.
Another Lion first down. This drive has been impressive. Allen to the other side this time. Looks to the corner. No catch. Tight coverage on G-Roy Simon.
Damon Allen's pass intended for number 81, Geroy Simon, comes up short. 2nd and 10 from the Stampeder 32.
Joe Barnes was covering on Simon that time. 2:04 to go in the opening quarter with the Stamps on top 3-0. Critical game, as we have mentioned time and again here today. First place is on the line, second place is on the line, and so is third place.
Yeah. It could be first place or out of the playoffs.
Yeah.
And what happens next.
Yeah, that could be fourth place, right? Batted down at the line.
Looked like it was Ray Jacobs. Yeah, and that's what the defensive linemen are taught. If you can't get in the backfield, it's a quick set by the quarterback. In other words, three-step drop. Three-step drop back pass, quick drop for Damon Allen. Ray Jacobs right here. You can't get back there, get your hands up. I believe it was the big left paw up in the air that gets it right there.
Absolutely. Third knockdown of the year.
Sacked.
So the field goal try will come from the 40-yard line. Has he got it? Not by much. But Matt Kellett does poke it through, and it's all even on Wendy's CFL Live from Calgary. Look at the Stampeders in Winnipeg next Friday night. Final game, regular season for the Stamps. Will it be a critical game for Calgary? It's going to be important one way or the other, isn't it? Well, first place still hanging in the balance, and the Eskimos playing after that.
Yeah, win or lose for Calgary, that's an important game for them. Now for Winnipeg, who've already locked up first in the East, talking to Dave Ritchie, that's a game that he wants to be playing some good football in, because he wants to finish strong before that playoff game. He's going to have a bit of a bye there, the 2 weeks, the extra week off, before he actually plays in the playoffs. So he wants to play well. In fact, he told us this weekend that Kahari Jones will likely play a lot in that game. So, interesting game for both teams.
So after the field goal, Lions are ready to kick it back to the Stampeders. Antonio Juan at the 25. This guy has been going for the Stampeders all season long. Leading the league in all-purpose yards coming into this one with 2,564 and a 23-yard return there. Stopped by Tyrone Bell.
Well, there's two things about Antonio Warren that have been a pleasant surprise for the Calgary coaching staff. One is he's instant field position. He talked about his all-purpose yards, and that's primarily on returns. So that's instant field position for them offensively. But it's the way he's approached the special teams that I think has been a pleasant surprise for the Calgary coaching staff. He takes great pride in what he does with the football in the return game.
Stampeders first down. It's Kelvin Anderson again. Caught from behind and slowed. Actually not. It was a good fake. Got to me that time. Nice fake by Crandall. And Kamal Peterson was the target there.
Well, and that was just save the sack. But it was a very nice play action fake. Right here, there's Kelvin Anderson. Does Kelvin Anderson have the... Well, we all thought Kelvin Anderson had the ball.
Worked out very well, didn't it?
But Cameron Legault wasn't fooled, and he's the guy who provided a little pressure and forced Marcus Crandall to throw that ball up into row 3.
2nd and 10. Stampeders at the 48. Crandall from the shotgun. Sideline pattern. They call it a catch.
A couple of big catches for Kamal Peterson on the sideline. Well, saw one early in one of the first drives on the near sideline. This is right over in front of the BC Lion bench. A timing pattern for Marcus Crandall. Throw the ball before he comes out of that break, and there he is. Keep that foot in bounds. Does a nice job of that. When you're a kid, that's what you practice. You know, you're over the sideline, you're right by the curb. Practice keeping your feet right in bounds.
Tuck him into the curve. 3rd catch for 38 yards for Peterson. Already. This is Kelvin Anderson. Tries to get outside, and he was chased down by Toya Jones, number 27.
2nd and 7.
Every one of the plays for Marcus Crandall sent in from George Cortez on the sideline takes a little bit of the responsibility out of Marcus Crandall's hands. So all he has to do is basically execute the play. Now, I say all he has to do. Easier said than done when you're playing against Gary Echeverry's defense.
Go get him, go!
Gain of 4, 2nd and 6. Crandall has time over the middle. No catch. Bo Richter should have had it. He was all alone.
We talked to Mark Bo Richter before the game as well, and he was boldly predicting that he would pass the 1,000-yard mark this afternoon.
Well, he didn't really say it out loud.
He was hinting towards it.
He said we weren't supposed to mention it until he got close. Coming into the game, he's got 842.
Well, now I put the pressure on him. I mentioned it after a drop.
So he needs 160.
Boy, this weekend is a weird weekend. There's been dropsies in the 3 games we've done. We saw the guys in Saskatchewan yesterday. We were in Toronto, and a lot of drop passes this weekend for some reason.
Deep kick. Jeroy Simon from the end zone.
Oh, I don't know.
That wasn't a good idea.
It's not a good
Got out to the 2-yard line. Scott Diebert forced him out. Likely should have given up 1. He's given up a whole pile of field position. It's Wendy's CFL Live from Calgary.
Wendy, CFL Live at the quarter.
And welcome back. Dave, Matt, and Chris with you. It is 3-3 between the Stamps and the 49ers. What do you think of those gold pants?
I like them.
Pretty slick?
I like them.
Yeah. Slick. Look a little 49erish, but slick nonetheless. We talked about the war of words heading into this game, Schultze. Specifically, Willie Fells attacking the manhood of Robert Drummond, which you hate.
Yeah.
And we thought we would like to see a little bit more 29 at this point.
And I'm surprised they haven't really made Robert Drummond a bigger part of this offense, because you talk about motivation and pride. That is an issue with Robert Drummond, and this is the only play that he's really been involved with of any significance. If I'm coaching a football team, sometimes I look for great plays, but every now and then I want to look at the player who has his back, who has been challenged, and I'm surprised he has not gotten the ball a heck of a lot more. They could use that motivation to an advantage for the BC Lions.
Chris, the reason why he hasn't had many opportunities is Calgary's been controlling the football. Right now, George Cortez, offensive coordinator for the Stampeders, has got Marcus Crandall, his young quarterback, in a nice groove, distributing the ball amongst all his players, keeping the ball out of the hands of BC, not allowing them to, Chris, to establish that momentum and possibly a little payback there. So right now, the Calgary Stampeders are controlling the line of scrimmage, keeping that defense of the BC Lions off balance, Dave, and that's been a key in the first quarter.
You think we're going to see a little bit more of Kelvin Anderson? He wants to win the rushing title for the season.
Yeah.
Good point.
It would look good on him, too.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, Kelvin Anderson, Robert Drummond, who's going to step up? So far, just field goals to speak of at McMahon Stadium. Another great crowd in Calgary. Let's get you back there now. Here again is John Wells and Glenn Suter.
Wonderful afternoon at McMahon Stadium in Calgary. Jeroy Simon might have had a little brain cramp there.
Yeah, that's not a good decision. Whether that came from the bench, I'm sure it didn't. Jeroy Simon looked like he thought he could get to the outside, pick up some yardage, but what he did is he lost a whole bunch of field position. The ball right now just on the 2.5-yard line. The single point at this point in the game really doesn't make a whole big difference.
Well, Manny's punt traveled 54 yards, and it pins the Lions back inside the 3-yard line. So we'll see what magic Damon Allen can come up with from here. Last line drive was rather impressive. They got 3 out of it. Robert Drummond met Alondra Johnson. And not much except time of possession.
Yeah, the Calgary Stampeders, again, Marcus Crandall doing a nice job with the football, moving it inside between the 20s. See, Kelvin Anderson already has 34 yards rushing in 1 quarter, and that's one of the reasons that the time of possession favors the Calgary Stampeders. When you're running the ball, you keep the ball longer.
Anderson with 7 100-yard rushing games on the season. Drummond picked up 5, 2nd and 5. Allen looks to put it up. Or maybe take it.
Oh, how'd he get out of that?
Lots of room, and a great move by Damon Allen to get out near the 30 where he slides safely. And Alondra Johnson rolled over top of him.
How did he get out of there?
A little Houdini-like.
Well, he really did. I mean, Siegfried and Roy have nothing on him. Look at this. He steps up in there. Ray Jacobs has him bottled up. Joe Fleming has a shot at him, and somehow he sneaks to the outside, and then it's just the speed, and he's ageless.
And that's why he is #1 among all quarterbacks in Canadian football in rushing yards through his spectacular career. He is smooth. Let's keep it on the ground. Robert Drummond again. I don't know if Willie Fells was anywhere down there, was he? We were looking for that matchup after Fells had some unkind remarks to make about Drummond earlier in the week.
Unkind, yeah. That might be an interesting. He's garbage. He sucks. That's what he says. And, you know, Robert Drummond has a few Grey Cup rings to prove otherwise.
Yeah, 4 to be exact. Allen, near side.
Oh, it's
Simon, you know, it was the target. It was a little low.
Just to get back to that point one more time, I don't think the Calgary Stampeders were very happy with their teammate Willie Fells when he said those things about Robert Drummond. In fact, I'll give you a quote from Joe Fleming after Willie Fells called Robert Drummond garbage. Joe Fleming said, and I'm quoting here, "I don't think it was very appropriate. Those things should never be said about another player trying to make a living. I think Robert Drummond is a good player and a classy guy." So you can bet that Joe Fleming had a few words for Willie Fells in the locker room.
Well, and Fleming will be right in the middle of the Robert Drummond rampage down there if he really gets angry this afternoon.
Go run it, Tom.
On the dead run, Antonio Warren. And there's Drummond on the tackle, but what a return by Antonio Warren. 31 yards, and you see why he leads the CFL in all-purpose yards. Back in Calgary, there's Karen Drake on My Horse Blue. Hi, Karen.
Hi, John. How are you?
We have a special treat for everybody. See right up there on the top of Karen's cowboy hat? That's our Karen Cam. The Calgary Stampeders score a touchdown. You're going to see what Blue sees.
There's her view from the end zone right now. Now the Stampeders are closing in on touchdown territory here, and Blue and Karen may be heading around the sidelines here.
Well, not if Barron Simpson has anything to say about it.
But they're ready.
Blue will just stay right where he is if Barron Simpson has anything to say about it. He is throwing the hat around today. Not cowboy hats. He's throwing a helmet around.
Is Blue enjoying the game, Karen?
Ears are up and ready, and he's ready to go.
You know, Blue actually pays attention and watches the game and knows what's going on.
He does. If you see his ears, he's got one ear on the ball and one ear on the crowd.
When the refs put their hands straight up in the air, Blue is gone.
He's gone.
Calvin Anderson makes the catch. He'll be shy of the first down. Toya Jones was over there to wrap him up after a 4-yard gain. So here comes Mark McLaughlin. That means Blue isn't racing around McMahon Stadium for a bit.
We'll have to wait for the Blue Cam, the Karen Cam. That's all right. Blue might just give Marcus Crandall and Kelvin Anderson a dirty look if they don't get things going when they get in the scoring range. There it is right there. See him glance over? What's up with that, he's saying.
Back at that player going, get out of there.
Mark McLaughlin from just inside the 40. And he's wide, missed this one. So now they'll give up a single point.
Yeah.
So in spite of the fact that the Lions didn't give it up last time, they came away with just giving it up right now. And it's 4-3 Stampeders on Wendy's CFL Live. Calgary's Willie Fells, number 39, had some unkind words to say about 29 of the BC Lions' Robert Drummond. And here's how Robert reacted to that.
You know, I've never been really attacked like that in comments from another player in the league I played in, but I take it in stride. I look at it as like, what is he, the Junior CFL or the Canadian Football League, and I laugh at it. Coming from a player of his caliber, it's really a joke to me.
There you go, and here's
boy! And Willie Fells just got tattooed.
Did he get hammered there?
Oh, he got tattooed.
Make the tackle. It was Ricky Bell.
Oh, man, Willie Fells got hammered. Had no chance of going in and trying to stir things up with Robert Drummond. Fells is going to try to slide this way, and watch him get hit, number 39. He gets pancaked. Bam! Right there. Oh, I didn't even see the number of that truck. I thought it might have been Geroy Simon, but Willie Fells got upended and never ever got close to Robert Drummond.
Drummond picked up 5, and the Lions are at the 40. This is Sean Millington, and Alondra Johnson was waiting and fired him back. It'll be a first down for the Lions, however.
Oh, man, what a hit. Yeah, look at this. Here you go. Here he is here, and watch the hit. It might have been Darnell McDonald. It happened so quickly, the number. Look at this. Pow! He is out of there. He's trying to slide over to get involved with Drummond and see if they can't stir things up, and he got labeled.
Allen pump fakes once, has a wide open target. It's Jimmy Oliver. Did it skip to Oliver? They're saying no catch. No catch from the official coming in from the far side.
Well, the official that waved it off had the best angle. He was standing on the far side, right on the sideline. He had a good angle to it. The official is over here. He's the guy who makes the call, so he has that great angle to see whether or not that hit the turf, and looks like he made the right call.
It was a skipper.
I think the guy who made that hit was Darnell McDonald. It happened very quickly, and it was an 8 in there, and I couldn't pick up the number from here, but I'm pretty sure it was number 80, Darnell McDonald. What a hit on Willie Fells. You talk about some of the hits from Barron Simpson on defense, and now McDonald. The Lions have come to play on it.
It's 2nd and 10. And is wrapped up and tossed to the turf. Pilon was there, and so was Jeff Traversy, along with Ray Jacobs. So who gets credit for the sack?
Well, it was a bit of a race to get there. Corey Mantica is working on the outside, I believe, on Jacobs right out here.
Jacobs gets credit here.
A loss of 6, 3rd and 16 Lions.
It's a nice bull rush to the outside. Actually, that was Wes White on the outside.
So Jacobs has a knockdown and a sack so far. That's his 7th sack of the season. And forces the Lions into a kicking situation. The ex-Stampeder Tony Martino back at the 25. Nice kick. Antonio Warren begins at the 15. And he's out near the 30. 13 on the return. 1st and 10 Stampeders when we return.
What are you doing?
Don't want to scratch the paint.
Smoother, roomier, more powerful. The all-new 2002 Explorer. Drive it. Love it. There are no boundaries.
Man, that sandwich was good. Is there another one? We're saving it for Dave.
You can't resist Wendy's bacon mushroom melt with all that bacon and cheddar.
Hey, Dave, why don't you stay out a few more laps?
Okay.
Where's that sandwich?
Here, I hope no one ate my lunch.
When you gotta have one, you gotta have one.
SportCheck.ca is here to serve. Shop online for the best brands in clothing, footwear, and equipment, including Nike, Adidas, and Oakley. Visit SportCheck.ca or the store nearest you. SportCheck is Canada's choice for sporting goods.
Hey.
Back in Calgary, where the Stampeders are supporting a very special Operation Christmas Child charity, and Wally Buono is backing this and hoping that all the fans here will help contribute. Here's Wally.
Oh, it does mean a lot to me. Like I say, I have 4 children of my own, and you know, to think about them having nothing and to get a gift at that time of the year would mean a lot to me as a parent. So, like I say, the person who's going to get the box you'll probably never see, but yet the joy you bring them, you can sense because you know yourself how good you felt when someone's giving you something.
Well, while Wally was sharing those words, Kelvin Anderson adds to his happiness here this afternoon with a 39-yard play after the pass.
But Marcus Crandall. It almost looks like the Stamps are going to get a little charity here. A mistake from the BC Lions in the secondary to allow Kelvin Anderson to get wider than anybody. A nice cutback there on Eric Carter. Picks up another 20 yards after the fact. 39 the game. Stampeders just outside the BC 40. And it's Anderson again, and it's Simpson again. Barron Simpson. 99 tackles on the season to lead the league coming into this one. He's had about 4 more at least by himself this afternoon. Yeah, and not just tackles, though. He's come up and put some big hits on both Kelvin Anderson and the receivers for the Calgary Stampeders. And Barron Simpson, well, I'll tell you, if he's not the Rookie of the Year, I don't know who is.
4 yards for Kelvin Anderson. 2nd and 6 for Crandall. Looking under the cover. No catch. Camille Loud, a newcomer to the Calgary receiving corps, playing his 2nd game. First time we've had an opportunity to see him.
Well, the throw was a little bit off the mark, but definitely catchable ball right there in the curl as he had to come back a little bit for it, but Loud was awful quiet on that play. Okay, that's it. I won't.
Yeah, it's gone now. You cannot ever use it again.
Okay.
Mark McLaughlin. One of 2, hitting on 50%. This spotted at the 45. McLaughlin, an up leg. Missed it. He had 5 last week and was the special teams player of the week. And the Lions will concede another single point. That's Mike Fletcher with no hesitation there as he takes it out of the end zone.
These are moral victories for the BC Lions right now. The Calgary Stampeders have had a couple of chances down around the 30-yard line, come away with field goal attempts and just have 5 points to show for it. Something we've seen all weekend from teams. They're just not capitalizing when they get a chance in scoring range.
Right after we're done, Blake Price takes over with Sports Center, and he'll have highlights from the Tiger Cats victory this afternoon over the Montreal Alouettes to move Hamilton into 2nd place in the East. A preview of the World Series, Game 2 coming up tonight as well. So join Blake for that when we're done here in Calgary. Lions are 1st and 10, beginning at the 38. Robert Drummond. Oh, what a move. Nice cut by Drummond. And Fleming comes over to help bring him down. Joe Fleming, 76.
Well, Drummond used pretty much all the moves he has. He had to use about 4 or 5 on that play to pick up, 6-7 yards. Fleming finally chased him down.
Joe Fleming was pretty happy about these new pants the Stampeders are wearing. He thinks he looks pretty good in gold. Yeah, he was modeling them for us prior to the game.
I don't know about that.
Well, he said it made him look a lot more svelte. Allen looks one way and will take off to the other side, looking for the first down. Smooth.
Look at him go. You know, and
50.
you could tell that Damon Allen has decided to take things into his own hands in this game because he made a nice pump fake to his left, and that pulled Cotton in with him. Watch when he makes the pump fake out here. Watch Cotton go down with the fake. He goes way down with that fake, puts the brakes on, and watch the speed of Damon Allen to the outside. Outruns the angle of Ray Jacobs. Cotton can't catch him. He's running hard tonight. Today, I should say.
Well, it'll be night later, but
it's almost night.
16 for Damon Allen. Pump fake once. Down to the near side. Denny Montana, first catch of the day. He's got great speed, but couldn't get outside on William Fields. It'll be a first down for the BC Lions.
You know, Damon has Alfred Jackson back in the lineup, and while Jackson hasn't been a big part yet, he is so important and opens up the rest of the receiving core. In fact, when you take a look at what Alfred Jackson did, what the entire receiving core did with Alfred Jackson in the game, 8 games he played, 2,000 yards. See how much it's dropped off now? It's 7 games. Almost 1,000 yards less with Jackson out. It affects everybody when your stars out of the lineup.
And look at the room to the right side for Robert Drummond. Running as well as he has all season here this afternoon. Drummond still looking for his first 100-yard game and gets a little added incentive from comments by Willie Fells.
Just to go back to the importance of Alfred Jackson one more time, I just want to show you because there's a lot of information here. You look at this, 2,000 yards, all the receivers combined with Jackson in the lineup for 8 games. If you project him out of the lineup to 8 games, it's still about 1,200 yards. That is close to over a 40% drop-off in production from the receiving core with him out of the lineup.
Not to mention the touchdowns.
Yeah.
Allen, near side. As Jimmy Oliver breaks a tackle inside the 10, still standing as he fights his way down to the 2-yard line. Ricky Bell finally brought him down. The other thing about Alfred Jackson coming back into the lineup play, he really ripped into his teammates for their play over the last few
leadership,
games.
yeah.
And watching them on the sidelines, he said they didn't have enough discipline.
Watch what he does here. I'm going to show you to the left of your screen. Alfred Jackson, going to hold it here, right here, guys. Right there. Alfred Jackson is way deep. See Jackson up here? He has opened up a ton of area for Jimmy Oliver underneath. That allows the one-on-one that Oliver needs. That's the thing that Alfred Jackson does away from the back, away from the play. He goes down that seam, and he draws coverage.
And William Fields missed a tackle there to allow Oliver to get all the way down to the 2-yard line, where it'll be first and goal to go, BC Lions, when we return. What a beautiful afternoon in southern Alberta. CFL Live at the half with Randolph, Schultz, and Dunnigan. And the tears have all dried now as Eric Tillman has left the set.
Yeah. But again, good luck to Eric Tillman and putting the Ottawa and whoever's together.
Lions are first down, goal to go if the 2 flags are down. They call it a touchdown. And we'll see what the infraction was. Robert Drummond into the end zone from 2 yards out.
I think Kelly Malvo was in that 1 yard.
Offside, Calgary number 3, decline.
First touchdown of the afternoon, and Robert Drummond has his 11th rushing touchdown of the season.
Yeah, and the timing wasn't right on the play. Because watch how Millington, I believe it was Millington. Yeah,
sorry.
See how Millington jumps up in there, and he's too close to Damon Allen. The play isn't executed perfectly, but hey, you don't ask how, just how many, and that's one on the board for the BC Lions as Kelly Malvo was offside, so he declined that, take the touchdown.
So Drummond did a lot of the work to get the Lions in range, and Millington takes it the rest of the way for a 2-yard touchdown.
And Alfred Jackson did a lot of the work, and we showed you what Alfred Jackson brings. We talked about the leadership, and John, you talked about what he has said in the huddle and what he will bring to that huddle. We show you how he opens up space for other receivers. Millington gets the touchdown, but that big Jimmy Oliver play was set up by Alfred Jackson. Now, he's not going to play the entire game tonight or today because he's got a bit of tendonitis in that bad leg. The knee is fine, but in that same leg, he had some tendonitis, and that's been bothering him over the last week, so likely won't play the entire game this afternoon. But just having him down there on the sideline makes such a difference to the Lions.
Here's the scoring drive brought to you by UPS, moving at the speed of your business.
6 plays, 72 yards. Oliver with the key play set up by Jackson, and Millington had the touchdown. So it's 10-5. Lions on top. Closing in on halftime with about 3 minutes to go. Missed opportunities for Calgary, John, because it really, at the very worst for the Stampeders, should be 10-9 right now. And a couple of missed field goals. Yeah. Long shots in some ways. Antonio Warren for Calgary. Oh, he's got a hole. This guy can fly. Got a hole. Back from behind. Denny Montana might have saved a touchdown. You know, great returners always have one thing in common, and that's when they get the football in their hands, they run fearless. They head up in the hole, and you can see that he is not slowing down to try and absorb any hits. He's accelerating through the hole. Now, returners can get tattooed when they do that occasionally. You have to be fearless. And boy, Antonio Warren certainly is. A 33-yard return sets the Stampeders up right at midfield, first down. I'm just watching Barron Simpson. I just want to watch what Barron Simpson does. Crandall goes to the far side. A mix-up over there. Barron Simpson, you know, on that play, he just had to drop into coverage and fly over there in the direction of the football. But, boy, he's just bringing the attention of all the fans here in Calgary right to him because he is flying around this afternoon. Tunkara was the closest Stampeder to the toss from Crandall. So now it's 2nd and 10 at the 55. Oh, now Simpson up there showing some blitz. Will he come or not? No. Well, the Chargers Crandall is down, and Herman Smith is on top for one. Herman Smith just Mike Fletcher too with speed beat Thomas Ram to the outside right here. Watch how quick he goes. Here's Barron Simpson. He's going to show the blitz and then fly out there and try and cover on Kelvin Anderson. You see him take off to go cover Anderson. That's where Marcus Crandall wanted to throw the football, but it was a race between Mike Fletcher and Herman Smith. Fletcher got there just before second. Yeah. First sack for the Lions, and that'll force the Stampeders into a punting situation as Duncan O'Mahony heads out there, number 91. I promised I'd wish his dad, Dr. Justin O'Mahony in Abbotsford, BC, a happy birthday because that's coming up. So Duncan asked me to pass that along. He's a clinical psychologist in Abbotsford, and I've made an appointment for you. Well, thank you very much. I'll likely need it. Well, just trying to figure out the West Division. Yeah. Lions on top, 10-5. Stampeders going to get pushed back. They're looking at 3rd and about 40. Lions should get decent field position and time on the clock. Plenty of time to put some more points on the board before halftime. There's O'Mahony's kick. Not deep. Gets a decent bounce to the 30. And Fletcher, nice return brewing for the Lions. He's out at the 45. Stopped by Willie Fells. A 15-yard return. So maybe Dr. O'Mahony can help us decipher this. Well, once we start to decipher the whole thing, then we're going to have to visit with Dr. O'Mahony because everything's up in the air so far. The Toronto Argonauts sitting right now in the 3rd playoff spot in the West Division, ahead of the BC Lions. If the Lions lose, we mentioned it, Toronto will have control. They'll play Hamilton the last game of the year. They win that, they're in the West. But should the Lions win, then the fight continues. Sean Millington has the touchdown for the Lions. Well, simply put, when you look at those standings, it is a little confusing, and it won't be clear until next weekend for sure, but the Lions and the Stampeders have a chance to finish 1st, 2nd, 3rd, or 4th, depending on the outcome here today. Calgary clinches 2nd place with a victory. Edmonton has a playoff spot clinched, but it could be 2nd or 3rd as a result of the loss. That's right. Yesterday. That's right. Okay, so now I have my appointment set. I'm okay.
Millington again. And that'll be the first down for the BC Lions offensively. Last couple of possessions, the Lions have looked rather crisp. Something we've been waiting for the last 4 or 5 weeks from this Lion offense.
Well, they're looking a lot like the BC Lions of last year, where the way they're running the ball, as you saw them more than doubling the Calgary output running the football.
James Cotton had the pressure on Damon Allen there, and he had to release it in a hurry. Drummond was the closest Lion to the ball.
Damon Allen will bring in the receivers, and going off will be Sean Millington, Lyle Green, so he'll get the receiving core in there. Brett Anderson comes in the game. Denny Montana on the outside. So far in this situation, this game this afternoon, Damon Allen has been rolling out on 2nd and long. Let's see what he does here.
From the 53, it's 2nd and 10. Straight back around. He has Jimmy Oliver. Oliver broke a tackle.
Thought Alfred Jackson was open. If Damon Allen can hang on to the football a couple more seconds, he has Alfred Jackson open deep. And Alfred Jackson looks like he's running smooth on that bad knee. And you always wonder how you're going to run and how you're going to approach it psychologically. But you can see how he got in behind Kelly Malvo by a couple of yards. That's what he had when he was injured after 8 games. Injured in Montreal.
Oliver picked up 11, first down BC. Allen on the money again. Inside the 35. G-Roy Simon made the catch.
You know, and when you talk about Willie Fell saying what he said about Robert Drummond and really directing it in a lot of ways towards the entire BC Lions, you know, that's why Calgary was so upset with him, because, you know, guys like Joe Fleming, they'll say, you know, those are professional athletes over there. The BC Lions, you want to get them all upset with you? There's enough talent over there. They can win on any given day.
9 yards to gain. This is 2nd and 1. And that was tough running for Robert Drummond. I don't think he has the first down.
Well, and I love what Alfred Jackson was doing when he looked out. He didn't even look to see if they were close. He was waving to the coaching staff.
Well, they got to go for it here.
To say, let's go.
Seconds,
yeah,
right?
Let's go get it. Let's go get that first down. We'll take a couple of cracks at the end zone, then kick a field goal. And they will be just short. Length of the football short. And they're going to send the big guys in and go after it. Comes Sean Millington. Out goes Denny Montana. G-Roy Simon. This is quarterback sneak territory, really, though, for Damon Allen. You take the handoff out of the mix.
Well, Allen wasn't using that play as a sneak when he had the injured left hand, when he was working back from that, but he's apparently almost 100% from that. And there he goes, under the pile. Should be a first down for the BC Lions. No flags anywhere, and this drive will continue.
He just disappears into that pile, doesn't he? Like, when you see him go in there, Damon Allen just takes 4 or 5 hard steps, and he's gone. And you just wonder what's going to happen to him. Watch this. Look at this. Here goes Damon Allen. Takes the ball. 1, 2, 3. Where's he gone? He's gone.
Right underneath.
He's gone.
No Fleming.
Yeah, he's gone. Now on the bottom of that pile, Damon Allen he does a little inventory, make sure he has all his body parts, and then he comes back.
So the drive continues. First down at the 31. Allen, another pump fake, nicely done. Almost intercepted. Intended for G-Roy Simon. And a chance for the Stampeders, Kelly Malvo, to pick off his first interception of the year.
Well, and really should have had it. I mean, that's Kelly Malvo's ball. He had a better shot at it than G-Roy Simon. He turns around. Well, Simon becomes defensive back, and that's really the only thing that prevents that interception.
30 seconds till halftime. 2nd and 10 Lions at the Calgary 31. Allen shotgun. Looks to escape and had to fire that one into row 2. McDonald was in the area, but that was out of bounds.
Yeah, Damon Allen was just hanging on there, trying to get that ball out of there, and he really couldn't get anything on the pass. Darnell McDonald had opened up late, but watch the problems Damon Allen was having. Ray Jacobs around the corner. He's just kind of throwing it off one leg as he's being hit by Joe Fleming, so he didn't really get anything on the football. Darnell McDonald couldn't corral that one on the sideline. But not a bad situation for the Lions, who line up in field goal range, have a chance for 3 more points before the half.
And they've taken some time off the clock. Here's Kellett's second of the afternoon. And that one is good, too. Earlier from 40.
Kicker is 2 for 2, and it's BC 13 and Calgary 5.
So 13-5, Lions on top after a couple of scoring drives in the late going of the opening half. Live at the half, coming right up. Wonder what they'll talk about today. Ticats?
Well, they're going to, yeah, we'll talk probably a little bit about that game.
Well, I hope they'll update
a little bit about our game.
San Diego scores.
Hey.
Flutie against the Bills today, and Jeff Garcia.
Now, the last I heard, the Chargers were up 13-0 on the Bills.
And Garcia and the 49ers playing the Bears, right?
And they were ahead by 7, I believe, last time we heard.
Marcus Crandall as Kelvin Anderson. 11 seconds till halftime. Oh, 49ers have apparently lost in overtime.
Oh, okay.
Well, Garcia didn't. They had a 2-touchdown lead there, I thought.
Yeah, they did, and he's been playing well all year long, Jeff Garcia, former Calgary Stampeder quarterback.
Yeah, and the Stampeders are looking a little like the 49ers here today, are they not? With those gold pants and the red jerseys. No?
Okay, I'll give you that. They're kind of growing on me, actually. When I first saw them coming out of the tunnel, I thought, oh, boy. But, you know, Joe Fleming makes a good argument about anything. When he says he likes them and he says that I should, I say, okay, Joe.
Yep. You say.
I like them.
Lions on top, 13-5, 11 seconds to go. Stampeders, first down. Marcus Crandall trying to get in field goal range. There's Antonio Warren. Tried to break away from 2 BC tacklers, and he was nailed by the second guy in.
John, it'd be a 57-yard field goal. Now, we saw Paul McCallum yesterday kick a 62-yarder, CFL record. But he had a bit of a wind behind him in Saskatchewan.
That always helps.
Not much wind here in Calgary to speak of. It'd be a 50, well, it'd be more than a 57, 59-yarder right now, it looks like.
Yeah, now you're in your room watching the game yesterday afternoon, and he lines up for the 62-yarder, and you're saying, I hope he misses?
No way. Not a chance.
Well, you were the holder of the record prior to that.
There goes
Crandall. Long toss. Tunkara's in the area. Can't come down with it. There were Lions all around Ib Tunkara, and that should be the half.
No,
so you didn't wish any bad luck.
Not at all. Congratulations to Paul McCallum.
Kick.
Nice kick.
That was smooth.
Yeah.
A smooth 62. It is the Lions on top. 13-5. We'll be back to McMahon after the half.
Here are the halftime numbers brought to you by Dodge. Matt?
Oh, yeah, right here. This is music to Steve Barado's ears. 105 rushing yards by the BC Lions there in the first half, and that means they're controlling the line of scrimmage. That means they're controlling the game.
Their coach hasn't had much to be happy about lately. Let's see what he had to say to Sherry Hargrave.
Okay, Coach, Alfred Jackson back in your lineup. That obviously opens up your offense, especially your running game.
Well, we've been able to run the ball with a little bit of success. You know, the big difference is we made a couple of plays when it counted, and we were able to get the ball in there and get some field goals, and we turned it over on a play. The guy's just working hard to get some extra yards. But other than that, we played very well on defense, and we're playing with great intensity, and we just need to play the second half like we have this half. Not too happy with the kick coverage, but we're going to straighten that out.
A very, very important game for you. What will you say to your team at halftime?
Play the way you are and finish the game. It's all about finishing.
Good luck. Thank you.
Well, the old Karen cam is pretty quiet so far. They only run this thing when Calgary scores a touchdown. Nothing yet. We'll see what happens in the second half. This is Wendy's CFL Live.
Getting ready for the second half. Stampeders have not taken advantage of their opportunities so far this afternoon and trail by 8. Let's bring in Sherry Hargrave.
Coach, it seemed to be a game of missed opportunities so far for your team.
Well, again, we've not played well, especially offensively. We're not converting anything. We're not making any plays, and you got to give BC full credit for their lead.
What will you key on in the second half to take a victory away from here today?
Well, again, you got to take advantage of the field position. We've had some good returns. We put the offense in some good positions, and we've done nothing with it.
Well, good luck in the second half.
Stampeders 4 possessions inside the 40, 5 points to show for it.
Yeah, one of those with a big turnover, a fumble by the BC Lions, and they had momentum right at that point. Didn't take advantage of it. Just 5 points on the scoreboard. So exactly what Wally Buono talked about at halftime with his players. He said, Antonio Warren's putting us in good position. Now we just have to capitalize when we have that great field position. Now, as it stands, the BC Lions will get the ball first.
Mark McLaughlin has missed a couple here this afternoon. He'll kick it off to get the second half underway. Geroy Simon is deep. It comes up short near the 40. Taken by Crum. Jason Crum is rolled out, and a penalty marker comes down out of bounds on the far side. Looks like a face mask down there against the Stampeders. Glenn?
Major foul, face mask, Calgary, number 39, first down.
There's the confirmation. It's Willie.
Willie Fells. A little bit of a face mask down there. The 39 going high on Crum. No question about it. Better field position for the BC Lions.
Yeah, starting actually inside the Stampeder zone. At the 54, nice fake by Allen, near side, the toss to Jackson, his first catch of the afternoon. And a solid start for the Lions in the second half with Joe Barnes covering on Jackson that time.
Yeah, Alfred Jackson just has time. You see him in the bunch right here, in the bunch of receivers, but because it's play action, he's got time to be patient on the pattern. Just go to the outside, find a little opening. Barnes is sitting in the zone, so he has to break when the football is in the air. And Damon Allen has nice time outside the pocket, thanks to Craig Hendrickson. Find his target, Alfred Jackson. Look at Drummond.
Yeah, he's running well this afternoon, is he not? A little added inspiration as Drummond is down to the 30. Otis Floyd was over to make the tackle.
Peter churning for Robert Drummond. He's great foot speed as he hit the line of scrimmage there. And you know, you almost never want to make it personal. You know, when you attack somebody's character, when you call a guy garbage, you're making it personal. And you make it personal for Robert Drummond, get him fired up. You know, watch out. And Drummond's been running hard.
After a 12-yard gain from Alfred Jackson, this one is close enough to measure. And it will be a first down. So a very solid start to the second half for the Lions, and actually a good finish in the second quarter.
Willie Fells so far hasn't quite walked it like he talked it all week. Let's see what happens as this game continues.
From the Stampeder 32, first and 10 Lions. Allen looks one way. Now looks for room to the far side. He's got an open target and fired a little high as he looked for Lyle Green.
28, Lyle Green. Second and 10.
Green was wide open, and Allen just overthrew him.
Well, Damon Allen's just buying all kinds of time, though. I mean, he likely went to the time bank before he got to this game, because he's got plenty of whatever you pay to buy time. He's outside. He's looking at 3 and 4 different receivers down the field, and if he keeps running and moving around in the pocket the way he is, it's going to be a long afternoon for the Calgary defense.
Second and 10. Lions at the Stampeder 32 with an 8-point lead.
Oh,
there he knew what he wanted to do.
There he goes.
Allen will come up with a first down. Again, Alondra Johnson made the tackle. Now let's see where they spotted. He might be just a little bit shy.
Now, John, the BC Lions, we've talked about it, are on a 4-game losing streak. Winnipeg, Toronto, Edmonton, and then Winnipeg again. And I don't think in those 4 games Damon Allen ran this play, this quarterback draw, once.
Damon Allen has made a living out of that quarterback draw. Key situations, and this is a key for the BC Lions. Calgary needs a stop on this play. He takes off running, and he's going to be a couple of inches short of the first down, but gets close enough so that Steve Barato can gamble.
Allen has 62 yards rushing so far this afternoon. Came up just a little bit shy here. So about a foot to go for a beat on this opening drive.
Yeah, this is the play where Damon Allen disappears. This is a disappearing act for Damon Allen.
Dives right under the pile, and Joe Fleming ends up on top of another BC Lion and Allen.
He gets in the huddle and goes Houdini on one.
3rd and inches. They got him.
See, where'd he go? He's gone.
Disappeared.
Calgary jumped. You saw that.
Offside, Calgary, 76. First down.
Well, they got Joe Fleming that time.
Tried to anticipate the snap count. But this is a Houdini on one. Okay, so you go up, down, set, hut one, here he goes, and where's Damon's gone.
Well, just,
he's gone.
As predicted, there was Fleming on top.
He's gone in a sea of humanity.
From the 17. First down. And Drummond again.
Jacobs saved the touchdown. He was, look at Robert Drummond. He saw that goal line and was on his way. And Ray Jacobs, just with the shoe tops, stopped him. Nice blocking there by Steve Harden, open up a huge hole. And look at Jacobs just hit him. Or it's one-on-one with Drummond and Greg Furz, the safety, right at the goal line.
9th carry for Drummond. He has 52 in the afternoon. He'll get it again, and nowhere to go that time on 2nd down and a couple necessary. Joe Fleming won the battle that time.
And I think Damon Allen would like it back simply because he wanted to pull the ball out of there. Damon Allen, right after the play, looked to the outside and thought, oh man, I could have run forever had I kept that football. Damon Allen, a lot of times in these plays, has the option to give it to him or pull it out of there. Now, right after that, he takes a look to his left, and he sees wide open area if he just pulls it. He pulls that ball out of there, he comes around. Obviously, Jacobs and Joe Fleming not letting Drummond go anywhere.
Matt Kellett 2 for 2 in the afternoon. Make that 3 for 3 with a 17-yarder there. So the Lions add to the lead with a score on the versus Johnson.
And he's the big hurt or something?
He's the big unit.
The big unit.
Yeah.
The big unit against...
And Andy Pettit.
Against the race car driver.
No, that's Richard Petty.
Oh.
Andy Pettit
is the pitcher.
The
Gotcha.
lefty. Yeah.
Okay.
Back to something you know about.
That's a good kick.
Antonio Warren chased back inside the 3.
Great
Had some good returns, but well covered by the BC Lions this time, as Toya Jones was upfield to lead the tacklers. 72 on the kickoff, 8 on the return.
That's a big play by Brett Anderson. I want to emphasize that because he put that in a hole and had a little backspin on the football, and Antonio Warren had to chase it down and lost a ton of yardage. So this is bad field position for Calgary on a pretty good kick from Brett Anderson.
Well, and they could have had it out at the 35 had they chosen, right?
That's right.
Taking the option, but they're looking to Antonio Warren for a big return and hoping for better yardage than that. But they end up at the 10-yard line, and that's where the Stampeders begin. Actually, just across the 10. Almost intercepted. Touchdown, Mike Fletcher. Started to say almost intercepted, but he grabbed it the second time he had the opportunity. This is more like the BC Lions we saw last year when they were on that great run.
There he is there. Watch him drop right in the throwing lane. Hit him off the top of the helmet. Gathered it in. Untouched. That's his 5th interception on the season.
And the linebackers, when the linebackers lead the interception parade, it's kind of interesting, isn't it?
That puts him right in the top of the list.
At least. So the turnover is an instant 6. Crandall misses it here. Fletcher deflects it, heads to the end zone. 23-5, BC on top of Calgary. Stampeders here.
Here's the design of the play. Vince Danielson is supposed to go down the seam with Mark Boerichter coming underneath like this. Now Marcus Crandall wants Mike Fletcher to go with Vince Danielson down the seam for at least 2 or 3 steps. Fletcher doesn't do that. He says, hey, Marcus, I smell what you're cooking, and I'm going in the end zone.
4th interception of the season for Mike Fletcher. Here's the Lions kickoff. Antonio Warren looking for better things on this return. He's already got that. Out across the 40 to about the 43 and run out by Jason Kraltz. 28 on the return after a 60-yard kickoff. And for the Lions, 20 unanswered points, 10 in the second half. So Crandall has his work cut out for him as the Stampeders are 4-4 at McMahon Stadium on the season.
Well, I mean, you got to give credit to that defense for the BC Lions, and they're led right now by the linebacking core and Barron Simpson and Mike Fletcher. You saw the Fletcher interception, and Simpson's been everywhere.
Stampeders beginning at the 43. Crandall shotgun. He's got time to throw, can't find anyone home, and he's wrapped up with penalty markers down.
See, now doubt is creeping into Marcus Crandall's mind. He threw an interception right to Mike Fletcher, and the very next play, he really hesitated to pull the trigger. And once you throw that interception, and Matt Dunnigan will tell you this, the most important thing you got to do is let it go. Let it go and go to the next play. Watch him. He can't pull the trigger. He's hesitating.
Herman Smith and David Benefield share a sack there. 7 on the season, so he'll have his 8th with that play. Second sack by the Lions. 2nd and 11 for the Stampeders. Peterson, what a move to get the first down. Huge play for Calgary.
All right,
Peterson.
Curtis Anderson's got to go and get his shoes taped up again. Because Kamal Peterson just blew his spat. What a move in the open field from Kamal Peterson. Watch this jab step right there. 23's got to go collect some of his clothing. Jockstrap is still down there on the 50-yard line.
Crandall on first down. Here's Anderson sliding out of the backfield. One-on-one with Carter. Carter brings him down.
Well, that's some kind of move by Kamal Peterson, wasn't it? Oh, boy. That's worth one more peek, I think. You go back to a young player in the open field that can do this. Watch this move. I mean, this is 2nd down. This is a big play for Calgary. Little jab step there. Great move there. Wow.
Another first down for the Stampeders. Crandall can't find anyone open. Takes off himself. Steps out at the 31.
A gain of 5, Cedric Curry, number 3, chase the Calgary quarterback out of bounds.
Mark Boerichter coming into the game on a real hot streak. 10 receptions, 286 yards and a touchdown in his last 2 games. We said that would be the key to Calgary's success so far. He's got the big donut up there.
Well, and credit to the Lions because they're giving him a little extra coverage there with the safety. Here's Boerichter.
There we go. A little momentum now for the Stampeders on 2nd and 5.
Well, see, John, now I want to explain exactly why this is happening, because Mark Boerichter in the last 2 games was running the deep pattern, and he was making big plays because of it. And the Lions with Warner Herndon have taken that away. The safety has slid over and taken away that deep pattern. But if you run Mark Boerichter on those in routes at about 5 or 10 yards, you can get something.
He picked up 13, a first down here, and the toss was behind Kelvin Anderson from Marcus Crandall.
It's just a matter of trying to find the best way to use Mark Boerichter, and rather than George Cortez sending him deep like he's done the last couple of weeks, now send him on those in patterns in front of the safety.
Little doubt he'll be in the National Football League somewhere next year. 10 teams apparently interested in this guy who's got it all. Size and speed and great hands as well.
Well, even when he was sort of a forgotten man in the offense early, he was still racking up touchdowns.
2nd and 10. Here's the heat on Crandall. Won't get it away. At least not effectively. Herman Smith coming again and forced the throw.
It's very interesting to see if they rule that as an incomplete pass or as a sack, because there's no question that Crandall was just trying to save the yardage he lost. He had no receiver and no chance of completing a pass. Herman Smith off the edge is not blocked by Calvin Anderson. Noah Cantor also involved, and they're going to say it's incomplete. Now the ball passed the line of scrimmage, so you don't have to have a receiver in the area.
But a tough afternoon for Mark McLaughlin so far. He's got that one. So the Stampeders come up with 3 to answer the 10 that the Lions have put up so far in the second half. A win today on Wally Buono's Calgary Stampeders would clinch 2nd spot in the CFL West. If they lose today, all kinds of other things can happen, including missing the playoffs.
Well, and he also personally moves into a tie with Frank Clare for 2nd place all time with 147 wins. Very important game for both teams, and they're playing like it. A lot of intensity, some big hits out there on the field this afternoon. Stampeders just haven't capitalized on all their opportunities, and that's why they're behind.
They've settled for field goals, and that's been a problem. A little reverse here. Denny Montana from G. Roy Simon, and it nets only a couple of yards. Here's Sherry Hargrave.
Well, it's a special game for the man who booted the game-winning field goal at the '98 Grey Cup. Mark McLaughlin is playing in his last regular season home game. The 14-year veteran who leads this team in games played is hanging up his cleats at the end of the season to run his professional soccer team. However, he's hoping this won't be the last game here at McMahon Stadium. He's still hoping for a playoff game. And who knows, he may be the hero of another Grey Cup game before it's all said and done.
Well, the playoffs are November 11th and 18th, and the Stampeders could be hosting either one of those as a result of what happens here. Here's Sean Millington.
You know, and it's interesting, Mark McLaughlin talking about the Grey Cup in Winnipeg when beat the Hamilton Tiger Cats and basically the last play of the game with a field goal. But when I asked him about his best memory, Mark McLaughlin told me it was a 51-yard field goal he made versus Edmonton in the '91 West Final. That was his greatest memory. And before the game, him and the old teammate Tony Martino were over there talking, and I said, I'm going to get teary-eyed, you guys, old friends over there hugging and things.
Yeah, they broke up the old gang. Martino and McLaughlin were always around in Stampeder uniforms prior to this season. And a little chat prior to this one. It'll be 2nd and 6. Allen right on target for Anderson. Brought down by Cedric Curry.
That crowd starting to become the 13th player for Calgary and trying to help out their defense. Caused some problems for Damon Allen. 33,000 plus here in attendance again at McMahon Stadium. And when they get going, they get loud. Makes it tough for the quarterback to audible. In other words, to call a line on the line of scrimmage, call a play on the line of scrimmage.
Kelly Melvoin on that last tackle. I should correct that. 1st and 10. Going deep.
Of course, the quarterback's not, throwing lines out at the line of scrimmage. He's not a comedian down there. He's calling plays on the line of scrimmage, and the crowd can make it difficult.
Leroy Simon was the intended receiver there.
I'm almost certain Damon Allen's not walking up there to Joe Fleming and saying, so this guy goes into a bar. No. Don't think that's happening.
Numbers are about 50% or on 50% there, 11 of 22.
Fleming looked over at Damon Allen before the game started and said, hey, Damon, you're garbage, and gave him a little wink.
Yeah, that was part of the fun before the game. Allen won't get it away. Dropped to the turf by Cotton. James Cotton has his 8th sack.
John, this defense, after 4 games in the regular season, were ranked last against the pass and basically last against the run. Now, this point in the year, they've moved into 2nd spot. Now, you've got to keep in mind that a couple of teams haven't played as many games, but
This is a defense that has improved dramatically under Mike Roach throughout the season. They had a bunch of new faces, and they've come together over the last 5 or 6 weeks.
And Antonio Warren back at the 30. Waiting for Martino's punt. He's standing at the 20.
Oh, he tried to kick it out of bounds. Shanked it.
It's a knuckler. So the Stampeders will gain on the exchange.
Not terrible, though, when you think about the way Antonio Warren has been running the football. You want to keep it away from him. Obviously, Martino would like a little more than that out of his punt, but keep it out of his hands.
21-yard punt for Martino. Just under minutes to go in the third quarter as Crandall, hitting on 63.7% of his passes coming into this one, is right up there with the leaders as a percentage passer. We've seen it shown again here that the Stampeder problem, the quarterback has been getting touchdowns when they've had opportunities, and they've missed several here this afternoon, settling for field goals.
I think he just changed the direction of the play there.
Under the cover, Carter made the catch, and Carter made the hit. Eric Carter, 2-on-2.
Right on top of him for the tackle.
Oh, you got to love this game.
You miss that sound ringing through your helmet, don't you?
You do miss that every now and then. You don't miss how it feels the next day, but you miss it on game day.
On second down, it's batted down at the line. And is it intercepted by Smith, who got his hands on it?
Yes.
I think it is.
Intercepted.
Herman Smith having a heck of a ball game. And it just blundered into his hands. It was another tough break for Crandall.
Well, it looked like he wanted Imtunkara over the middle. He went to reload. He went to throw this one. And was it Kander who got his hand on it? Herman Smith comes up with the tip drill.
Well, yeah, some days are like that. A long way from over, but the BC Lions have been taking advantage of opportunities here today. Robert Drummond ran into Alondra Johnson.
Yeah, ran through the arms of Alondra Johnson, actually, and that's saying something with that guy, because Alondra Johnson doesn't miss many tackles.
David Benefield was talking about Alondra, calling him the godfather of linebackers in the CFL, and that's not a bad description, is it? He's just been around forever and
I thought
still as effective as...
I thought because he walked up to David Benefield and went, you know, I think you're a good player.
Allen has a target near side and overthrew Jimmy Oliver.
He didn't have much room to get it in there anyway. Anthony Pryor was right beside Jimmy Oliver. If that ball's not overthrown, I think Pryor has a better chance at it. So, you know, the Herman Smith interception really bought a whole bunch of field position for the BC Lions. If Tony Martino puts this punt out inside the 10-yard line, they gain about 45 yards in field position off an interception. The Calgary Stampeders offensively have forgotten one man, Mr. Kelvin Anderson. Talked about Mark Boerichter. Had trouble getting him the ball, but Kelvin Anderson got a hot start, and we haven't seen him much in the second half.
Martino angling it for the near sideline, doesn't quite get it there. Antonio Warren, nice move, nice run. Out near the 30-yard line on the return, met there by Millington after a 16-yard return. It's Wendy's CFL. First and 10 Stampeders. Beginning at the 28th. Here's Kelvin Anderson. Tries the right side. Simpson was there, but still effective yardage. Also Toya Jones, number 27.
Yeah, and they forgot about him in the second half a little bit. I'm talking about Kelvin Anderson, and you know, that makes a big difference now for Marcus Crandall to have 2nd and 5. Kelvin Anderson, so important in that first half, getting him into good position. They didn't capitalize with points, but he was a big part of the offense then.
Crandall with time, and no one was home. Looking for Peterson. So it's A punting situation again for Crandall and the Calgary Stampeders.
Well, Marcus Crandall will go talk to Kamal Peterson on the sideline and just tell him to just stay right where he was, because the last second he made a decision to turn up. It's like George Cortez maybe mentioning to Marcus Crandall, just see the whole field. Make sure you see the entire field. Try not to get locked in.
Duncan O'Mahony will kick to Geroy Simon. Or perhaps Mike Fletcher. This is Fletcher. Flags are down at the 40-yard line, and so is Fletcher wrapped up there.
There'll be no yards, no
3
question.
on the return. Lockbaum leading the tacklers for the Stampeders. Sports Center follows us. Blake Price will have all the stories, scores, and highlights. World Series previews. And everything, I'm sure.
Everything you need to know.
I'm just letting you jump
First
in.
down. Anything you need to know in the world of sports, Blake will have it for you. No, he's a West Coast guy, huh?
I'm West Coaster, yeah.
Yeah. In my neck of the woods.
Into the final 3 minutes of the third quarter here at McMahon on a wonderful sunny afternoon. At least as the game began. Still sunshine on the stands on the far side from our location here. Sean Millington. Oh, nice defensive play. Loose ball. Millington got back to it.
They're saying he was down anyway, I think, John. I mean, Millington wise to go after the football anyway, just in case. Don't rely on the official. But it looked like he went down on the tackle. Right there from James Cotton. It's a pretty nice defensive line they've got assembled now, with James Cotton really coming into his own as a rookie in the CFL this year. 7 sacks coming into this game. It's a pretty nice play right there, along with Fleming, Traversy, and Ray Jacobs. Put together a pretty good group.
2nd and 10, Danny Montana near side. Allen looks that way and then fires in the opposite direction. Robert Drummond made the catch, but he's well short of a first down. 1:48 till three-quarter time.
Joe Fleming demanding the double team all game long. I've been focusing in on him a little bit over the last couple of series, and Fleming has really drawn Jamie Terrace and or Dan Payne or Steve Harden. He's getting the guard and the center on him, and that should open up one-on-ones on the outside. In other words, Ray Jacobs, look for Ray Jacobs as this game goes on to maybe get the one-on-one matchup he's looking for.
Martino standing at his 45. Too deep for Calgary. This will go to Antonio Warren. Well, he couldn't make a play on it. It trickles into the end zone. And 1 point is not going to hurt the Stampeders here at all for field position. They trail 23-9 now. Another great crowd on hand for the 18th straight time. 30,000 plus here in the stands at McMahon Stadium. 33,144. Still waiting for the Stampeders' first touchdown. And how about Blue down there?
Yeah, Blue's getting cold. Blue's going to have to start stretching out.
Blue's had an easy afternoon. So is Karen Drake.
Yes.
Is Blue getting anxious to do something?
He is getting anxious. His lips are, I think he's getting cold.
Now, does he get paid by the touchdown, Karen?
Yes, we do. So these guys got to hurry up, or else he's not going to get fed tonight.
Now you said that was your horse, right?
Yes, right. No, he's, no.
No, this is John. John said it's Blue is his horse,
Oh,
right?
that's not. Yes, it is.
Yeah, well, now I want to ask John then, if Blue is your horse, John, what kind of horse is it then?
It's a white horse.
A white horse. Oh, you are some cowboy.
John, a quarter horse.
It's a quarter horse, man. A white horse.
Looks like a whole horse to me. Huh?
Yeah. Oh, you are a real. Oh, hey, you're a cowboy, man. A white horse.
Karen, I hope you get to ride soon. Another turnover going against the Stampeders, however. Baron Simpson comes up with it this time.
What a game he's been having. Unbelievable.
Finally, a little something to smile about for Steve Barato, no matter what happens on the penalty call here.
There's Baron Simpson right in the middle of your screen where he plays all game long. Baron Simpson steps up, goes up and gets it, knocks it down, catches it on his own. You won't see that very often. That's about as good as it gets. You can knock it down and catch it. You're on.
There's no infraction on the
when
play.
That's happening.
First down.
Barron Simpson is in the zone.
Yeah, sensational rookie season, and I'm sure that he'll get a lot of votes for Rookie of the Year.
Well, he's got mine. And, you know, Antonio Warren will likely get some votes as well. I mean,
Oh, yeah, I'm just saying a lot of votes. I mean, there's one game to go, but voting is being done.
But there's a guy that plays on defense every down. Plays on special teams. He's been all over the field this afternoon.
Robert Drummond tries the right side. It's tough going in there. Pelon is in the middle of things, along with Alondra Johnson.
A White Horse. White Horse is a city, man. Jeez. That's good. Well, you just lost your cowboy card, buddy. You're going to have your cowboy card revoked when you go downstairs from Karen right now. I guarantee you that.
Well, we've got the camera on Karen's hat down there. We're hoping to watch Blue ride around and celebrate a touchdown, but not so far.
Well, maybe we can slip Karen some money and Blue can ride on a BC touchdown.
Oh, no. That'll cost you a lot.
David Allen looks to the end zone with a touchdown toss. Too far. Darnell McDonald was the intended receiver. End of the third quarter, 15 to go. Lions on top of the Stampeders, 24-8 in a crucial game at McMahon Stadium.
A White Horse.
Wendy's, CFL live at the quarter.
So the BC Lions go into the fourth quarter with a double-digit lead. It's been a long time since they were in that position. And, guys, I don't know what has woken this team up or pressed their buttons, but offensively and defensively, Matty, finally we're seeing the defending Grey Cup champs.
That's right, defending Grey Cup champs. And where it starts right now is the offensive line and intensity. Intensity in the locker room that's carried over onto the football field. And here we see it with Robert Drummond simply running over one of the best linebackers in the Canadian Football League, and Alondra Johnson. I'm talking about that as second effort. That's intense running the football. We see it in Millington. We see it in Damon Allen. We see it carry over the rest of the football team, Chris. This is an indicator to me that this team is ready to step it up.
You know, but it's funny on the other side with Calgary. I mean, they had an opportunity here to really create something. I don't know what's happening in the West, but it's really unusual. If Calgary's going to get back in this game, it's going to be up to the defensive line. Watch this perfectly played stunt where both the defensive ends take inside moves, the tackles go outside. See how Damon Allen is nicely contained right there? The whole idea in pressuring Damon Allen is to keep him in the pocket, because I think he's a better quarterback out of the pocket. If somebody's going to win this game, they got to step it up on defense for the Calgary Stampeders, guys.
But you're right, Schultz. They came in with an opportunity and still have that chance to get a piece of first place in the West. And now, Schultz, if they don't capitalize here, out of the playoffs is not out of the picture.
And I don't know what it is about the psychology of it all, but it just seems, in particular the last month, we have seen game after game where teams have opportunities and they don't play their best football. Another example of it this afternoon.
Having said that, there still is a quarter to play, but BC looks pretty good, that's for sure. They'll have to work for it if they're going to get back into this one. Let's get you back to McMahon for the fourth quarter. John and Glenn.
Lions have lost 4 in a row, Glenn. I don't think I've seen them make this many good plays in any of the last 4 games. I mean, in total.
Yeah,
I mean, they have made some great plays here today.
I think if you added up the big plays in their last 4 games, it wouldn't add up to the amount they've made in this one. And you got to give credit to guys like Robert Drummond, who really have shown up to play. Alfred Jackson has been quiet as a receiver, but has been a big influence. And Damon Allen is on, and he's running the ball more.
Chance for 3 more here. Keller, 39-yard field goal drive. And he's got it.
And it's good. From 39 yards out.
David Rivers put it down. Matt Kellett put it up. And the Lions have a 27-8 lead. Lions have outscored the Stampeders 14-3 here in the second half for a nice little 27-8 lead. And they're leading in other areas too.
Here's the difference right here. Look at this. There, I'm going to just put arrows right to it. There you go. That's the difference for the BC Lions. Rushing yards. Rushing yards.
Turnovers.
Oh, yeah, there's been turnovers too, but rushing yards for the BC Lions, that's the difference. That's the Lions that won the Grey Cup a year ago. And a lot of those yards from Damon Allen.
Danielson's kickoff coming down short near the 33. Out across the 40 to about the 43-yard line for Antonio Warren. 12 on the return. Well, we're going to see Pat Barnes.
Very interesting move.
Late season arrival to the Calgary Stampeders. And Wally Buono looks to shake things up just a little bit.
Ben Sankey took reps in warm-up.
He is a rookie out of Idaho State.
Absolutely no indication that Ben Sankey is injured, so a bit of a surprise.
Welcome to the CFL, Mr. Barnes. Herman Smith is having a day, isn't he?
Oh boy. I was about to say there was no indication that Ben Sankey was hurt, and he is normally the backup quarterback, but after watching this play from Herman Smith come off the edge, number 91, I don't think he wants in the field right now. Look at him go. Working on Thomas Rayam, and bam, helmet to helmet. Puts Pat Barnes and makes him part of the artificial turf.
11-yard loss. This is 2nd and 21. Barnes got it away. Got a catch. Got halfway back to a first down as Danielson goes up and brings it down. Vince Danielson missed a couple of games. Has played well since coming back 2 games ago.
John, you got to give some credit to Pat Barnes. You see Sankey, we give some credit to Pat Barnes after this hit, coming off the edge right here. Inside move on Thomas Rayam from Herman Smith. After this hit right there, which is about as hard as they come, he went and threw a pass to Vince Danielson over the middle. This is a big hit, and it took him a while. When he was walking off the field after the completion to Danielson, he was still shaking his head. Look at, he has not recovered from it just yet. He's going, who was that hit me?
Manny's punt.
Let's block him.
Mike Fletcher has room to the near side. This guy can fly as well. He's up near midfield. Dropped at about the 52 by Lawrence Deck. 44 on the punt, 33 on the return. It's Wendy's CFL Live from Calgary. So here's the game story brought to you by Sport Check, Canada's choice for sporting goods.
Matt Kellett coming into the game, kicking just 60%, making just 60% of his field goals. 4 for 4 here this afternoon. Crandall with the 3 interceptions. He is now out. Pat Barnes is at the controls for Calgary. Fletcher has one of those picks for a touchdown. And the BC Lions have found their running game.
Well, they found their entire game is what they found. Heart, enthusiasm, everything going for the Lions here today. And flags come down on a first down situation as Wes White might have taken a step too early. I don't know if Steve Barato really knows.
Procedure, BC number 69, still first down.
What he's done to put the magic back in the bottle here, but
you know, I really
very different BC team than we've watched over the last 4 weeks.
I really don't think that Steve Barato had to do a whole bunch. I mean, I don't think that any member of the BC Lions didn't understand the situation that they were in this game this afternoon. There's veterans in this lineup. BC, they know what is on the line in this game.
1st and 15, nice play action pick. Allen won't get it away. Jacobs was there, ball came loose, and Allen got back to come up with it.
Remember earlier we were talking about Joe Fleming demanding a double team. That should open up the outside a little bit for Ray Jacobs. You know, and Ray Jacobs comes up with a big play. See Fleming in the middle. He's in the middle here. Look at Fleming go. He's up in there on Steve Harden. There's the double team coming. See, now he's got 2 guys on him. And then what happens to Ray Jacobs? Ray Jacobs now has just 1 man to beat. If he can get by his guy, he can get the quarterback. And that's what he does.
3rd sack for the Stampeders. Allen looking at 2nd and an acre or so. He's got Millington who gets up and not for long. Pinned by Joe Barnes.
Demon had time to look at every single receiver before going to Millington out on the outside. Kind of sidearmed it, and that caused Millington to go down.
if he catches and turns, he may have picked up pretty big yardage. But they were a long way from first down territory with the sack from Ray Jacobs. Better kick it away from that guy.
Tony Martino, the ex-Stampeder. Across the 30 to Salem Eichler. Antonio Warren. Grabbed from behind. John Millington was there. So was Mike Maurer.
38 yards for Tony Martino on the kick.
It's been a tough struggle for Barado with 6 losses in the last 7 games, and he knew exactly what the Lions were up against coming into this one this afternoon.
I have a feeling that we're about to turn the corner and be a lot more proficient offensively. We've got some of the guys coming back who were injured, help with the timing, the sense of urgency because of the game. I mean, we got to back up against the wall. There's no tomorrow. They put us ashore and they burned the boats, so there's no place to go.
It's always got a great line.
And I love that one. They put us to shore and then burn the boats. Burn the boats. There's no place to go. Well, and you know what? The way they played the last 4 weeks, there was no place to go for this team but up, but forward, because they had gone about as low as they could. They were offside on that play. It was Herman
Offside,
Smith.
DC number 91, first down received.
So the sack that Smith got will not count.
No.
We'll take that off the list here. David Moyer, just scratch that out. Yes, thank you.
When you back up a good veteran athlete and you back him into a corner, if he's worth his salt, he'll come out fighting, and that's what the Lions have done here this afternoon.
First and 5 for Pat Barnes at the controls of the Stampeders here in the 4th quarter, trying to spark a comeback, trailing 27-8. No one home for Barnes there. It'll be 2nd and 5. Mark Bollrichter was the closest Stampeder to the pass.
A little surprised that we're seeing Pat Barnes and not Ben Sankey, although Sankey, when he did get a chance to play, well, he moved the ball fairly well inside the 20s. He also had problems finishing. In a game against Toronto here, he really showed his youth. Looked very nervous in that game. Had a chance to win it and didn't when Marcus Crandall was hurt.
2nd and 5. And he'll get a first down out of this. Mark Bollrichter swarmed down there, but he hangs on. Mike Fletcher was in on the tackle and the coverage. 12 for Bollrichter, first down Calgary.
Again, I think there's still time in this game, John, with over 10 minutes, that Kelvin Anderson should not be forgotten in this offense for the Calgary Stampeders.
From the Lions 50, first down. Here's sacked again.
Oh, my.
Bo Lewis.
If they don't start to block up the blitz a little bit better, they may be selling Pat Barnes punching bags here in Calgary. He's coming off the edge from the right side as Derek Lewis unblocked, and hello. See that head snap back? That's a hard hit.
Here he goes again. Rookies at quarterback take their chances. Curtis Anderson got the shot that time.
The Bluebirds are out here in Calgary. Look at Gary Etcheverry, the defensive coordinator for the Lions, is loving it. They're going to put a young quarterback in there. Guess what? We're going to send everybody we got.
This is sack number 5 for the Lions this afternoon.
23, Curtis Anderson just can't wait to get there. The DB is getting involved in the blitz package. This is the play before. There's Bo Lewis. And you just saw Curtis Anderson.
Back-to-back sacks. Amani's punt. Down at the 20. Leroy Simon. Stopped at the 25. All smiles for the defensive coordinator of the Lions, Gary Etcheverry, with a 27-8 lead, and sacks coming rather frequently here this afternoon. One more Wendy's Friday Night Football before we wrap things up for our season. Stampeders will be there against the Blue Bombers in Winnipeg Friday night, 8 o'clock Eastern. And a lot is still on the line as a result of what's happening here today. No playoff position will be decided here this afternoon unless the Stampeders get back in this one in a hurry. Robert Drummond for only a yard that time.
Robert Drummond, number 29, ball carrier.
So what's on the line? 3 playoff spots in the West. The only thing we do know is that the Eskimos have clinched a playoff spot, but losing to Saskatchewan yesterday blew the opportunity to clinch number 1 and the home field for the Western final.
And the bye.
And the bye. So 14, Calgary, BC all have a shot at finishing first. BC and Calgary still have to qualify by winning a game and getting into the playoffs. Sean Millington made the catch. So you can explain this, Professor. Just go right through the wild, wild West.
I don't know that I can, but if you see what happens here, the BC Lions with this win, if they can hang on and win this game, 14 points now, 1 behind Toronto, but what they do get is control of the race versus the Toronto Argonauts because they have the game in hand versus Hamilton on November 6th. So what they do is they then have 2 games remaining. The Argos have 1 game, that's against Hamilton. So basically, BC has control of their own destiny again. If they had lost today, or if they lose this game, they lose control.
Obviously, we didn't allow you enough time to explain that simply. Martino, high kick coming down. Antonio Warren at the 46. Another nice tackle by Jason Crum on special teams. Well, Pat Barnes has not had enough yet.
Marcus Crandall.
I guess he has had enough.
Yeah. Well, you know, there's 2 ways. You either beat the blitz by blocking it up, or you beat the blitz by getting rid of the football before you get hit. And Pat Barnes didn't have the blocking in front of him, so he wasn't getting rid of the ball. And now we'll see Marcus Crandall again.
Well, Barnes was sacked 3 times in a short stint as the Stampeder quarterback. Crandall is back. Is that a one-hopper? Aubrey Cummings couldn't get it off the turf quickly enough.
The Calgary Sun Sports lineup of Ruckaber, Tom, and Francis have the Stampeders covered. Pick up tomorrow's Calgary Sun.
Well, you know,
details of
World Series Game 2 happens after this game. Yeah, I think it's home run time here for Marcus Crandall. Up over the top.
7-8 to go. Well, he's had a lot batted down and a couple of intercepted this afternoon. He's not had a glorious afternoon. So that was 2nd and 10. Punting team heads out.
John, he rushed the throw. He really wasn't under a lot of heat, and he rushed it because Bo Richter had opened up in a corner route where he was going deep down the field. You know, this point in the game, the Calgary Stampeders have got to take some shots down the field.
Stampeders with a record of 7-9 plus a point for a tie, and 1-2 in a row coming into this one. Had they been able to come up with a victory here this afternoon, they would have clinched at least 2nd spot in the West. O'Malley hammers one. Inside the 15. Leroy Simon gets up near the 18-yard line. He's stopped there. It'll be 1st and 10 Lions, who lead the Stampeders 27-8 on Wendy's CFL Live. Lions 1st and 10 inside the 20. Here's Sean Millington, head of steam. Oh, Millington had the feet chopped out from under him. Anthony Pryor makes the play, but Millington had a huge game.
Well, he gets some blocks on the right side of that offensive line. I believe it was Wes White over there. He was one of the pulling guards. Corey Mantica helping out.
Lions have had success here at McMahon Stadium recently in the West Final last year, beating the Stampeders to go on to the Grey Cup, and actually came right back, moved into the Stampeders dressing room in McMahon, and won the Grey Cup over Montreal a week after that. It's a very impressive performance this afternoon as Millington carries again.
You know, the shots that were taken at Robert Drummond by Willie Fells, I think it really stirred the offensive line as well. And they've had a pretty good game here this afternoon for the BC Lions. They've been criticized a little bit throughout the year. But when you look at the rushing yards that the Lions have put on the board, 175 in this game, got to give credit to that offensive line. They're really getting things done. Jamie Terrace, Steve Harden.
And Wes White back in the lineup today.
Wes White back, absolutely.
Here's Damon Allen on second down. They make it a first down. He beats Alondra Johnson to the sideline. I think he's got it.
Alondra Johnson got cut off by his own player, Anthony Pryor.
That was a pretty nice block, actually, wasn't it?
Well, Pryor didn't see him coming, and Johnson tried to cut inside and hit Pryor in the back.
.5:14 to go here at McMahon. Final regular season game of the Stampeders season. And Calgary will have to wait until next week to find out whether or not there will be a home playoff date here in 2001. Lions on a nice roll. Another first down. Another nice run by
Willie Fells.
John Millington
Slid over there to make that tackle, and he's talking, and you know, he's got to stop talking. I'll tell you something. I think what Willie Fells did in this game was he woke the sleeping giant. Drummond has had a game. Damon Allen has run the ball well. Millington, we saw him just rip off a big run. That offensive line is getting things done.
And Alfred Jackson has not been a huge factor as far as receiving yards in the game. But even with just one catch, he has had an impact on the football field when he's been out there. Oh, my God, fake. There's Damon still going for daylight.
What a fake.
Not one Stampeder shot.
Ricky Bell was coming in there, and he was completely fooled by the play action. You know why it worked so well? Because the Lions pulled two offensive linemen from this side of the field over here, and you're going to see Ricky Bell, number 26, come across. And because he sees the pulling lineman, see him go, he thinks run, run, run. He slides way in there.
Look at them.
And they're all inside when Damon Allen takes off to the outside. When the running game is going well in the middle, boy, that opens up play action for you.
Lions have success when they run the ball, as we witnessed in the Grey Cup, 119 on average, 194 today. And Damon Allen has had substantial yards for BC this afternoon. Another first down here at the 33.
John Millington
again.
Jeff Peter, 93 at the tackle.
You know, it's very surprising to me to watch the Lions here today. I mean, this was the team that we were watching when they were on the 4-game win streak. This is how they were playing the game, and all of a sudden, the wheels fell off. I mean, Allen got hurt, Alfred Jackson got hurt, but that wasn't exactly the start of all of the, I mean, that was part of the problem, but it shouldn't have been all of the problems.
Yeah, and I would, you know, agree and say, though, that I'm not surprised that they're playing well now. I'm surprised it took them this long.
That's the point I was really trying to make.
It took them this long to get back on track.
7 carries for 79 yards for Damon Allen this afternoon. Looking at 2nd and 5. Look how smooth he is out there. Flags are down. And Allen fired that one incomplete on 2nd and 5.
There are very few quarterbacks that have ever played the game that can buy time like he did on that play.
Well, no one can run from that position like Damon Allen. I've never seen anybody able to have, you know, be as smooth as that, have that much fluidity.
You know, and through this 4-game losing streak, John, Damon Allen has really not been the problem.
Well, no problems for the Lions this afternoon. Just about everything has worked. All-Canadian Joe Fleming is still huffing and puffing down there.
Boy, Damon Allen can make it tough on even all-star defensive linemen.
Yeah, we've got something to show you after this play. Watch Joe run.
Tony Corbin's in the game.
Sean Millington. And Willie Fells is in on the tackle. Back to Joe Fleming, because this is Damon at his best.
It really is. Damon Allen, and you know, even all-star, you see Fleming, number 76, all-star defensive lineman, can have fits trying to catch Damon Allen. One step there, now he's in chase. Now it's Joe Fleming trying to catch the rabbit.
The rabbit's out to the outside. I got the rabbit. Nope, the rabbit got rid of the ball.
Yeah, the Greyhound couldn't catch up to the rabbit that time.
Joe Fleming did not touch Damon Allen in the play and probably ran 40 yards.
But he's right. He does look good in the gold pants, doesn't he? Millington across the 5. And 2:35 on the clock with the Lions on top, 27-8. Tony Corbin at the controls to try and drive one more touchdown into the end zone. During those 4 losses, the Lions were averaging less than 20 points per game. So they've got 27 on the board here this afternoon and a good chance to add at least a few more. Chance for the touchdown here. 1st and goal to go at the Stampeder 4. Millington won't get there this time. James Cotton met him.
Well, Millington is gonna go up there, and I believe it's Steve Harden. See, they're both lying on the field together, and he's gonna go up to Steve Harden and say, "Listen, we're either in or you're in the way. So go in the end zone or get out of the way," because Harden was trying to get going, and he was in trouble there with James Cotton, and Millington ran right up his back.
So it's 2nd down, goal to go back at the 6-yard line. Now after the loss with Tony Corbin. In behind Jamie Terrace at center. Here's Millington.
Yeah, you can see with Tony Corbin in the game, that Calgary defense not too worried about the play action of him running to the outside because they all just jumped into the middle, and Corbin kind of was all by himself.
Penalty flag is down. Here are the games next week. Calgary at Winnipeg, Wendy's Friday Night Football. Saturday, Toronto at Hamilton, Saskatchewan at BC. That will have implications, as will Toronto
Major
at Hamilton.
foul, unnecessary roughness, Calgary, number 51. 1st down.
And Montreal at Edmonton to wrap that up. So Lions come away with a 1st down as a result of a penalty here to Alondra Johnson.
C51, there's Darnell McDonald coming down, putting a hit on just after the whistle, and Alondra Johnson says, "Try that knuckle sandwich in the back of the head." Didn't cost them much yardage. They were already inside the 5, so half the distance.
Yeah, but they get the 1st down, and they were already at 2nd. Here's Millington. There's the touchdown. Sean Millington's 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Lions are definitely back and in the hunt for 1st place in the West with 2 games to go after this one.
It is an interesting scenario that's created now. The Lions have control again. And when you look at their games remaining, the BC Lions play Saskatchewan. Now, hey, full credit to Saskatchewan yesterday. Yeah, beating a team that really needed to win in Edmonton. And they're not done. That's not a pushover game for Steve Barato by any means. But then they go and they play Hamilton in that makeup game at home
3 days later.
And Hamilton has already clinched 2nd place in the East.
Big win for the Ticats over Montreal this afternoon. Millington into the end zone for the 2nd time, and it's the Lions on top, 34-8. Lions have put it all together here this afternoon and added 1 more touchdown on a 2-yard run by Sean Millington, his 2nd of the afternoon. Scoring drive is brought to you by UPS.
12 plays, 92 yards. If that's not demoralizing to a defense, I don't know what is.
Now, UPS moving at the speed of your business. And the Lions have been very speedy this afternoon. Stampeders missed the opportunity to grab a home field playoff date as a result of the loss here today, trailing 34-8. Antonio Warren plays it well. This could be the great return of the afternoon for Antonio Warren. Gets inside the 45. Couple of nice moves, and Mike Crum made the tackle.
Well, the good news for the Calgary Stampeders, and for us in some ways, is that maybe with that return from Antonio Warren, we'll get a look at Karen Cam. Well,
waiting and waiting.
We've been waiting all game long for the Karen Cam, and Blue over there on the sideline, and maybe Antonio Warren have got him a a little bit of momentum. They can get one touchdown so we can see that. Come on, guys. Let's go.
From the 44, Crandall back at the controls. Peterson makes the catch to about the 32. Karen is blue ready to go.
Karen is freezing over there on the sideline.
Okay, I'm breaking up here. It's getting colder.
Well, when you know your team needs a touchdown here, we can maybe see the.
We might get one.
Yeah.
Here we,
Karen, what happened there?
We were talking and he dropped the ball.
Well, your white horse has got to be a little cold over there as well, John.
Yeah, he's yawning.
Yeah.
He's warm. I'm cold.
You know when Blue is yawning, your offense is not very productive in the game.
That's right. So they better. I think they're going to go in now.
Okay.
On second
little
and 10.
optimism.
To the far side. This could be the chance. The Stampeders will win.
You were there! Oh, not quite.
Karen, I thought you called it perfectly. 2 yards short.
I got the flag. Oh, so we might have it. We might get to run.
Blue's ear is twitching.
He's twitching. His ears are forward.
Aubrey Cummings is on the outside. He just runs a little curl pattern. Once he has the football, watch what he does with it after. No quit in Aubrey Cummings.
Yeah, 2 nice plays by Cummings to take it down to the 2-yard line where the Stampeders are set up. 1st and goal to go from right there.
Blue is getting in position. The ear is twitching.
Ears are going.
Crandall puts it up. Too far. Oh. They got Kelvin Anderson down there. They're on the 2-yard line. I don't know.
Run it in for Blue.
Blue. Let's just get one.
We got the Stampeder flag going. Karen has been riding Blue, by the way, for 3 years.
Remember, I rode him at the Grey Cup. Just remember that.
Yeah, and Blue will never let you on him again. After calling him a white horse. He's a quarter horse, man.
I knew that.
Yeah.
2nd and goal to go. Stampeders have made it all the way down to the BC2.
I don't think they have a CFL team in white horse.
53 seconds on the clock.
Kelvin Anderson, let's see him.
The option. It won't work.
No shot. There's penalties, though. A couple of flags on the play.
Scott Regenbald on the option call.
Well, they faked the ball to Kelvin Anderson, thought they'd fool the BC defense, but that play had no chance. Now, Marcus Crandall indicating that it was BC offside.
So there might be hope yet. 49 seconds to go.
Offside, BC, 1st down.
Okay, Karen, stand by.
Okay, we're ready.
We got another couple of cracks at it.
You're going to see in a second what Karen sees when Blue flies around that field. And, you know, I've been down on that sideline, and Blue has almost run over players.
He aims for players.
You don't want to get in Blue's way.
Well, not players in red jerseys, though.
No, he is pumped up now. He's doing laps down there. He's ready to go.
3 cracks at it from the 1-yard line. Well, the Stampeders need all 3.
Give it to 32. You got a chance.
Well, number 1. Touchdown. Go, Blue. To the white horse.
All right. Let go. Here comes Blue. Woo. Karen got it so bad.
All right, Karen. All right, Blue.
You got to put the brakes on there now. All right. Very nice.
It's cold down here.
Well, it's almost over. 46 seconds, and you can go home, Karen.
Well, I tell you what, it was well worth the wait, wasn't it?
It really was.
That was great. A star is born, or a couple of stars. They're going for 2. Can you ride if they get 2?
Yes, I do.
Okay, all right.
I got to go back.
Uh-oh. They got it. They got it.
Go, Blue.
Come on, Blue.
Oh, Richter makes the catch.
stuff, Karen. Very nice. We had to wait an entire game, but it was well worth it.
It was well worth it.
Today in the Calgary footballs for hanging around after.
All right, Blue, nice job.
Good job.
Well, I think we got to take one more look at the Karen Cam in slow motion. Here comes Blue, and look at Blue go. I mean, that's full out. That's a white horse running as fast as it can go. Mr. White Horse.
That's a quarter horse.
Okay, well, get it right. No chance you get your cowboy card back. I'm telling you that right now.
What a great horse that is, Glenn. I mean,
Yeah, I
it's
know.
just an absolutely wonderful animal.
He's pretty awesome.
And we were talking about it quite a bit this afternoon, but we did ride horses last year at the Chrysler Awards, and we borrowed Karen's horse, Blue, and you had Tuffy.
And I had Tuffy, and yeah, they're great horses. I mean, you think about that horse riding there with the fans and the crowd and players, and Blue is solid. One of the most consistent Calgary Stampeders you'll see in the lineup.
A little short kick. And it comes right down to Leroy Simon, so the Lions will get the opportunity to run out the clock here now and post the victory that will move them a little higher up in the Western standings, still trailing Toronto in the crossover game. 7th win of the season for the Lions, now 14 points. So they're still in 4th place, but 2 games to go.
That's
And
right.
the Lions still have a shot at first.
Saskatchewan and Hamilton, 2 teams with really nothing in the standings now to play for. Saskatchewan out. Hamilton locked up 2nd today, so they're really not playing for any better position. They'll host a playoff game. The Lions have those 2 games, but the Argos also play against Hamilton. Now, they're not going to lie down. I'm not suggesting that by any means, but those are 2 teams that really can't do anything in the standings. Saskatchewan and Hamilton.
Violation, BC number 16, 2nd down.
But it's also very, very important to be playing well heading into the playoffs. And Hamilton, and both Hamilton and the BC Lions are going to have a tough run when they have to play that extra game on November 6th, no question.
Mike Maurer for about a yard. Sports Center coming right up, so we'll have all the highlights from everything that happened today. Stories, scores, and highlights with Blake Price right after we're done here at McMahon this afternoon. 41 seconds to go.
I wonder if the Karen Cam will make it to Sports Center.
Oh, I know.
I would think that's...
I know it'll be on Sports Center. Don't you, Karen?
Oh, definitely. I'll be there. Better be warm there.
Just a few seconds. I don't think the Stamps can put another one on the board, so...
I don't think so.
We could probably take the saddle off Blue right now.
No. The saddle stays on till the whistle's gone.
Oh,
I've been caught before.
And she's a poet, too.
The saddle stays on till the whistle has gone.
Yeah.
25! 97! See, the Lions have the lumberjack that goes up the pole. Yeah, maybe we can do the lumberjack cam at some point.
Won't be as much fun. Well, a chance for one big return. Flags come down, so a chance for a couple of Stampeder plays. Camille Loud. Not much on the return. Well, it's been an interesting week in Canadian football. The Argonauts win, beating the Bombers, ending that Blue Bomber win streak at 12 to keep alive in the crossover race.
No yards. BC number 11 declines.
Saskatchewan comes up big against the Eskimos and doesn't allow Edmonton to clinch top spot in the West, which a victory would have done for the Eskimos at Taylor Field yesterday.
Yeah, like, full credit to the Riders for that win, because it's been a tough season for Danny Barrett over there, and you know they didn't quit. They didn't lie down. They played very hard against the Edmonton Eskimos, who had a lot to play for.
And of course the Ticats winning today, but the story is really in the West, and it means it's going to be an exciting final week in the CFL to decide where everyone finishes. Aubrey Cummings makes the catch. Jason Crump the tackle.
Yeah, and you know, don't rule out the Calgary Stampeders by any means. Damon Allen had a great game this afternoon. He made plays, and so did this defense for the BC Lions. Think of that Mike Fletcher interception. Think of the Barron Simpson interception. Fletcher for a touchdown. Simpson knocked the ball down. Those are big plays made by the defense. You can't really fault Marcus Crandall for plays like that. And they're not out of it by any means.
Carter ended up with the ball. 34-16, 15 seconds on the clock.
He got the ball, but he wasn't on the field at the time. That's what they're laughing about.
But here's the deal for BC. I mean, a win improves playoff hopes with 2 games to go, including that makeup game November 6th. The Lions haven't grabbed the playoff spot as a result of this victory here this afternoon. They're still standing in 4th place.
But they have control.
They have control. Win 2 games and they're in. And they're in. But it'll all come down to the final weekend. Crandall has this one intercepted. This is Mike Crum. 4th interception of the afternoon.
Number 37, Mike Crum with the interception, and he steps out.
2nd interception of the season for Mike Crum. 1 second left on the clock.
Well,
1
maybe.
second, Karen. I think you can take the saddle off.
I think I could take it off now. I have been caught before, though.
Well, then you just have to ride bareback around there, don't you? Is that what
Yeah,
happened?
I'll just ride him bareback.
There you go.
There you go.
See, that's cowboy talk. Bareback. That's one of the thing, not white horse.
Yeah, I know.
Man.
I know all the cowboy
Well,
talk.
I guess we're in Calgary. You got to be careful of those things. You can't call it a white horse.
That's right. You got to be careful.
Karen, I'm sorry for my partner calling him a white horse.
Hey, Karen, thanks for all the fun this
Hey,
afternoon.
thank you.
Yeah, it was great.
Wish you'd been busier.
Me too. Thanks so much.
Big win for Steve Barato and the BC Lions this afternoon. They now have control of their own destiny, and that's all you want hitting down the stretch.
2 games to go for the Lions, 1 for the Calgary Stampeders. Tune in next week, and we'll tell you how the West was won. That's about all we can say from McMahon right now.